the American reincarnation of Franz Fanon. All right, y'all. ¿Cómo andamos? ¿Cómo andamos? How we doing? Let's get straight right into it. Enough with the nonsense. People are trying to round me up. I think that's hilarious. I appreciate it. Man. The only way you're gonna get more edited videos, especially out in a timely manner, is if I pull back on the live streams. That's the only way I got time to do that. I kind of want to do that. Maybe do like once a week, like 6-hour stream, and then just use the other 2 days, that time that I have the 2 days to work on the edited stuff. I think that would help out a lot. It helps the channel grow. The edited videos help the channel grow way more than the live streams. So there's that. And maybe whatever spare time I have, kind of use hanging out the Discord a little bit more for those that are supporting through the Patreon. I mean, that's a thought, that's an idea. Anything to kind of keep me from being terminally online would be awesome. These are fun to do. I appreciate them. I did want to get better at editing the live streams for sure. Just things like that I've been thinking about. There's a lot going on right now. Yeah, I mean, don't compare light jabs to what I do. You know. And like I've been saying, with the plethora of information continuously coming out, and we haven't even seen the right wing, machines are going after Grant Plattner. So yeah. Yeah, okay, then maybe we'll head down that path. I'll do a poll in the Discord to see how people are feeling. Because yeah, like I want to put out this little Bill video, get it out of the way. Grant Plattner video would be next. And the only one I care about truly is the Cesar Chavez one. What am I doing? All right. This is hilarious to me. Because like, once again, like everyone's missing the actual topic of the conversation, but everyone loves the circus and I'm here for it, so it is what it is. This is deculturation, the live streams. Wednesdays seems to be like that's gonna be the new consistency, which is fine. Thursdays and Fridays, we'll see what's up with that. But is the deculturation live stream not up? That's so annoying. It looks like it's up on my end. Release the Plattner cut. Dakadun, I thought about releasing what I have right now for the Plattner video, but it would have to be like a, and I hate doing that, it's weird for me, like a higher tier for the Patreon, and I just don't want to do that. I just rather put it out for everyone to appreciate. Shoot. Okay, let me double check. Yeah, okay. Deculturation live is up for me. Okay, so the live stream's up over there. Cool. I appreciate the help. Can't imagine streaming is healthy anyways. I did a 16-hour shift yesterday, bro. This is a walk in the park. I did a 16-hour shift yesterday. I went to go gas the car this morning. Well, morning after waking up, and then on the way home, I get a call. Some security stuff, some security issues going on at work, and people reaching out to just make sure they're going to be safe. So, um, give me one sec. So I'm not quite comfortable or aware of what healthy is in terms of like separating yourself and removing yourself from the nonsense, whatever the nonsense may be. Man, these people are fucking funny, man. There's gonna have to be a switch up on this channel because I really feel like there's a rad libs to the left of me, rad libs to the right of me. Like that's how I'm feeling right now, and it's excruciating because they're both trying to like one up each other, and they're both wrong in different fucking ways. That does not make it enjoyable to be anywhere near that shit. Yeah, I'm seeing that now. That's weird. Okay. Maybe I accidentally put it on private. Let me see. Huh. Give me one sec. Give me one sec. Give me one sec. These people don't impress me, but I think that's another issue. There seems to be a delay there. I'm looking at it right now though. So what is the issue? What is the issue? Manage. Oh, it's unlisted. That's funny. That's weird. I didn't switch that, so I don't know why I did that. It should be good now. Is it good now? I don't know, man. Whatever. Yeah, we're good. All right. All right. We did it. Thank y'all. Lo hicimos. We did it. Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah, it should be in the live tab, but it's all good. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you, Bravo. Love the Saturdays with Renee episode. I'm glad you did. I felt like I rambled too much. I felt like I rambled too much and I wasn't like, I don't know, man. Like, maybe because it was early. I should have woken up earlier. I don't know. But I felt fine. I just felt like I rambled too much. And I was re-listening to it not because I'm a narcissist, but because I'm like, I don't remember what I say. Like I don't have a filter, so I just say whatever is on my mind, and that makes it a little harder to retain. And so I was like, I went back, and because sometimes I mumble or stumble through my words or stutter, what have you, I'm like, okay, I hope I'm clear. I hope I'm making sense. I've shared this story before, but I had like an old friend of mine that I knew since like elementary, whose younger sister finally like made it to the larger friend group like by the time we were in high school. And no, it was middle school, my apologies. And she looks over at him and she's like, do you understand him? And he laughs. He's like, you'll get used to it. Because when I'm not on the mic, when I'm not on here, I don't got the energy to really elaborate or to pronounce everything properly, which I think probably lends to my inability to read out loud. Yeah, I've always seen myself as and been talked or I've been told that basically like the Mexican boomhauer. If you knew me, it was just always, yeah, yes, a ver cómo anda y de ahí vamos. And then, yeah, kind of, sort of, fuck that shit, but it's fine. Kind of like that. I just very, very indifferent to most things. Um, hmm. All right. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know what's going on with the second channel. Hope we're good here, though. I'll double back later. So Omega, so wait, back to the topic. Are you saying your subscribers or the guests are rad libs? Oh, I see both. Uh, FD and Bad Empanada as rad libs. Like if you look at their politics, I don't see anything socialist, communist, anarchist. I don't see any of that. That's why I never really engaged with their content. FD is entertaining. Bad Empanada is informative in terms of like basic introductive work. But in terms of their actual politics, to me, they've always been at best, rad libs. And so interacting with them and their audience who, for whatever reason, both think they're more radical than what they are, it's not even exhausting. It's just kind of like, oh, like you guys still believe that Randy Orton and John Cena, that's how of them, hate each other. You still believe that The Undertaker and Kane are brothers. Oh, okay. And then I feel childish for engaging with them. I don't know. I mean, maybe that sounds arrogant of me, but it's just kind of like, yeah, bro, when you're like out here telling people to vote for Bernie Sanders like that, okay. When you're out here telling people to vote for Kamala Harris, okay. But it is what it is. You both endorse a Democratic Party candidate. What the fuck do you want from me? What the fuck do you want from me? Like, how am I supposed to take y'all serious when you're doing this fucking... We'll get to it. We'll get to it. I'm a little sleep deprived, so I didn't get home till like almost 1 last night. Didn't get to bed till like almost 2. And that's going to be now a new normal for me. I'm just trying to like... This is cool and all. This is cool and all, but... I need to go back to like my fucking bean roots and start picking up more hours. This is a pipe bomb. Yeah, so where before I was normally doing 12s, I'm gonna start trying to stack up on some 16s and just get back to that. Get back to that. Yeah, man, it's weird. Like this YouTube shit pulls you in, and it's like, thank y'all for reminding me what a fucking joke this place is. I appreciate it. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, I'm trying not to instigate any further, but it's just so fucking... Hearing two people that are both wrong argue over being wrong is just... I don't know. It makes me sound arrogant. It makes me sound arrogant. But it's like, I didn't watch y'all for a fucking reason. Now I'm interacting with y'all. And shout out to This Is Revolution, by the way. Miles got a little fucking butt hurt. Homie, it's not my fault you said what you said. It's not my fault that you said that you lived in a gated community with a bunch of white people and that you feel awkward when you were jogging out there. And you're like, how did I wind up in Mexico? As soon as I heard that, I was like, bro, I already have to put up with you because I'm here for, I was gonna say Eugene, but it's not Eugene. Oh shit, what's his name? It's with the P. Ooh, somebody help me out! Help me out! Help me out! Pascal. Yeah. So who I disagreed with a lot, but I just look. I listen to people I disagree with all the time, as long as they're informative, as long as their style is at least somewhat captivating. Um, Hopefully, a little bit of humor in there. And Pascal is somebody who I would like appreciate hanging out with or something like that, and just shooting the shit and just absorbing that information that he has. We have political disagreements, but I would tune in to This Is Revolution to listen to Pascal, whether I agreed with him or disagreed with him. Just his insight was cool as hell, and it was dope that he talked about how like these are the conversations I was having at my dinner table. And look, I'm envious of anyone that grew up that way. It for sure as fuck was not me. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like for me, you're talking about some magical ass fucking magic school bus shit. Like when you tell me that. And Leia, Pascal's a lot to take. He's a character, and I've always appreciated anything he had to say, whether I agreed or disagreed with him. But as soon as, I was already putting up with Miles to begin with. I mentioned this individual before, Eugene S. Robinson. I think maybe that's what I was thinking about the name Eugene. Eugene S. Robinson. I don't know if he's still the lead singer of Oxbow or not, but really entertaining character, just a lunatic in the best fucking way. Yeah, and I would watch his live streams all the time. It was about MMA, politics, the world, just nonsense, and just hilarious fucking dude. Really, really contagious energy. Totally disagree with him politically, but just a good watch. And I always felt like Miles was like the poser version of what he was, and so it made it even harder to put up with his input, like that desperations to kind of like fit into the conversation and crack a joke, or I don't know, it would always throw me off. But again, Pascal is so informative and entertaining in such a unique intellectual way that I would tune in for that. But as soon as I heard that, I'm like, I'm not supporting a channel where you're proactively gentrifying Mexico. Like, I'm not. And so homie got a little butthurt that I said he lived in a gated community with a bunch of white folks, which is what he said. That's the goddamn reason why I stopped and unsubscribed from the channel. I was actually, and this is how you know. This is Revolution, Miles. I was a Patreon supporter. I had completely forgotten about that. I was a Patreon supporter, bro. I looked past not finding you at all relevant because of how much I appreciated the fact that you were providing a platform for Pascal to, educate me. Oh, yeah, with Ben Burgess, bro, it's just weird. It's just weird energy over there. But again, that's how much I appreciate Pascal. And after that nonsense, I canceled. And then I don't even think I was a Patreon supporter for that long either way. But still, the fact that like I overlooked a lot to support because how much I appreciated Pascal's information. Despite whatever disagreements, bro, I would listen to Dr. Carr in class with, Dr. Carr, Karen Hunter. Cannot stand Karen Hunter. But still, Dr. Carr, we disagree politically, but the information that he provides is so fucking vital. That's what I'm saying. Like, understand when I say I never watch Little Bill like that, I never watch FD like that, Bad Empanada. Hasan Piker. Like I've seen some of their stuff, but to actually be a regular viewer or to stay up, bro, I don't feel like I have anything to learn from these individuals. Now there's people who I disagree with, who I disagree with, who I will listen to. And I think those are two great examples, Pascal and Dr. Greg Carr. Who doesn't have something to learn from them? Like, even if you disagree with them. So, yeah, shout out to This Is Revolution. Nothing no his, cabrón. It's all right. It's all right. Maybe you were joking. Maybe I took it too literally. But I don't really fuck around with something that directly affects my family members like that. Because I've seen it. I seen it, especially when I was younger, you know, traveling back and forth, where the areas where my family's from, or they were, I wouldn't say from, but where they were at, it was rough. It was rough. And seeing how the landscape changes as, you know, gentrification starts building up, yeah, it's really disorienting. But anywho. What's going on, Dario, over here? Did you see the I saw the intro to that. I did. But look, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. And it's funny because whatever conversations behind the scenes that me and FD are having, I don't think they're the conversations that all people think, or that people in general think that we're having. I don't change up at all. But I will say this: I didn't feel comfortable watching that episode because of so much that I've learned from Dr. Curry. And I don't want to be disparaging and say like acolytes or but other men in the black male studies. Again, as always, shout out to Wise Adon TV. Some of the best conversations there. Bro, like, I think what they do is so fucking vital. And I don't think that it is fair to the information that they're providing to dismiss them so easily. And whatever the manosphere and the red pill has done to corrupt their work or to co-opt their work, you could do that with almost anything. You could do that with almost anything. And so it puts me in a weird situation because, reminder, I'm not black, right?
Any other black folk want to engage in radical activist language in this fucking chat?
So because of that, like I try to like literally to the point of like, I'm not gonna watch this. I'm just gonna step away from this and not engage. I know people have something to say in the Discord. I don't think I engage in that either. For that same reason that yeah, it's not my place, but I'm going to continue to learn what I can from Dr. Curry and just black male studies in general, because I do think that it's vital. I do think it's fundamental. But again, I might just be a sexist machista. Who fucking knows? So it just might be that. So like even that famine, like the issue is his character, you know, who he is, I guess. I don't think that part's been public, but I don't think it was included. I'll put it this way. I grew up listening to rock and roll. Yeah, rock en español too, but let's focus in the English shit. I grew up listening to rock and roll. I never went to it because it wasn't my genre, but like Warped Tour and all those bands and stuff like that. I was a little bit more into alternative or heavier stuff, but either way, anything in the rock genre, whether it was current or especially the past, all those individuals are creeps. David Bowie, I think, has one of the just some of the best work. The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust is almost a perfect album, really. The introduction to Thin White Duke is one of my favorite tracks of all time, especially when I used to smoke. Oh man, that so good. So things like that. They were all fucking predators. They were all predators. And so, and I know this is I'm not trying to compare, but I'm just saying, like, if I've been listening to that music and appreciating the art, and somebody is just an asshole, that's not going to be enough to push me away from engaging with their work, for better or for worse. You know, for better or for worse. So that's where I'm at. And this highlights the fact that, like, I don't fuck with Bad Empanada despite having covered some of his stuff when he was doing his whole little like lovers quarrel with Hasan Piker. And I don't even mean that in a homophobic way. Like, I legit think that Bad Empanada was enamored with Hasan Piker. There's no other way around betraying your principles to such a blatant degree to support and defend and fight for somebody who's such a blatant opportunist, other than you being enamored with them. And so, while Hasan does what Hasan does, using people around him that fall for his charm, which, fuck, bro, have some self-respect for all those people. And so, yeah, Linstack, I mean, R. Kelly defender argument. Now, please tell me where I defend any of those individuals. I'm saying I enjoy their art. Fucking lock them all up. I'm not an abolitionist. Let's not get back into me not being an abolitionist. Please. But I'm not defending. I'm just saying, like, bad people who were great at their craft. Yeah, see, Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust is a masterpiece, start to finish. I do agree. If you give me an album, especially a concept album, Sheriff, I can't take your threats, you know, anything other than serious. But yeah, give me an album that I could literally just hit repeat on or cycle through. And I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Like, yeah, he has a lot of great work like that. And he was a complete piece of shit. And even his last project has some fucking solid tracks, like really solid tracks that just kind of reminds you of how Johnny Cash did that cover of Is It Hurt? By 9 Inch Nails is just, yeah, Black Star. Some of the tracks are cool. Some of them are really like you could see a man grappling with his mortality, and to put that on a record it's rough. How's that not gonna hit? When I fuck with someone's work who's really problematic, really problematic, I start pirating. So it's no profit for them. Solution. I mean, usually I if I able to, I start pirating from the jump, but sure. Lazarus and Black Star's Haunting. Yeah, there's a couple of tracks where you're just like, ooh, I don't even know. I should be like, it's like reading somebody's diary, you know? Like, it's just rough. Look, I don't like the Noam Chomsky approach of like, oh, I just read books and email my good friend Epstein. Nah. I engage with, bro, I just saw Obsession. A masterpiece. And I'm not even a horror fan. But right now, in terms of like the last recent years, have turned me into a horror appreciator. And my top 3 right now of like modern movies that I've seen that I appreciate as a horror genre. Number 1, well, I'll go 3. 3 would be Obsession. 2 would be The Substance. Especially because by the end of that movie, by the end of The Substance, normally is where I would tap out and be like, this is why I'm not a fan of horror. Yeah, no spoilers, no spoilers. Let everybody enjoy it. It's man, it's too good. But it's kind of a hard thing to spoil to begin with. But yeah, let's not do that. I hate spoilers. So anywho, The Substance, by the end of that movie, I'm like, oh, this is why I never got into horror. But it was so well earned. And it was so, you had already given me so much character development, and you've done the psychological work, that by the time it got into the preposterous goofiness camp of horror, I was like, you've earned this. It's not for me. I appreciate it. And I love the fact that people that did grow up with that type of horror are getting what they want as well. Right? But the heart of that movie is, and the message behind it is, the scene, and I talked about this before, with Demi Moore. The Substance was mid, but to each their own, or yeah. Espresso's Depresso. The scene with Demi Moore putting on the lipstick, yeah, The Substance. That scene is haunting, man. Like, just somebody's personhood and their essence of who they view themselves as being broken down before you. So fucking intimate and heartbreaking. And especially because this is a person that has been glorified for their beauty, for their looks, and now they're dealing with the reality that that shit fades. And the point adding to that is that she's meeting somebody who she viewed beneath her or not worth her time before. And now she's insecure to interact with this person in a romantic manner. Right? And so just onions. They have layers. So I really appreciate that movie. But yeah, so I said, right, Obsession would be my number 3. Substance would be my number 2. And my number 1, Talk to Me. Talk to Me. Talk to Me is, except for the ending, I'm talking about like not a post-credit ending, but basically a post-credit ending, would have been a perfect film for me. And there's a scene in there that I don't want to spoil, where there's an embrace. And if you've ever gone through loss, if you ever felt the desperation to feel somebody's embrace that you never will again, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You'll never run into them again. You'll never see them again in any capacity. It's over, right? As an atheist, I just got to settle with that. A bad atheist, but still. There's a scene in Talk to Me where there's an embrace that is so fucking, it's so twisted and rooted in the desperation of love, that I never thought that a horror film, movie, what have you, could ever make me feel that way. I never thought that that genre had the capacity to emotionally beat me down. And I was just in complete awe and admiration of the creators, the actors, everything involved in that. And yeah, there's some scenes in there with the younger brother that are just unsettling, to say the least. Yeah, the ending. Yeah, Godzilla, great. I never really grew up with Godzilla like that, but -1 is awesome. I'm excited for the sequel. I heard that the black and white version of it is pretty decent too. Like, I really enjoy the chrome version of Mad Max Fury Road. So give me an example. What is peak horror? Yeah, once you start getting into, is it a thriller or horror? Now look, I will admit this. since I was never a fan of horror, I was always a fan of psychological thrillers, right? And so that's why, unfortunately, like I was a Kevin Spacey fan. Turns out he wasn't acting, so it's like, all right, fuck. But psychological thrillers have always been like one of my favorite genres. So any suggestions, and I'll definitely check it out. Um, and so maybe I'm biased that some of these movies, Obsession included, are rooted in the psychological horror or psychological thriller element more than previous movies. But I mean, I think that the actual brutality of it has not diminished. I don't know if you saw the movie uh, In My Nature or no, A Violent Nature. I think that, yeah, In a Violent Nature, something like that. Is that correct? That's how little I want to talk about these fucking people. Yeah. So this, I really wouldn't recommend it unless you're a horror fan. But there are some beautiful shots in this. Beautiful shots. Now, I'm not even talking about the kills. And it does make it funny, the whole like, hey, what does a killer do when he's trying to get from point A to point B? And they do it in such a way that it's like so like visually appealing that it's just throwing me off. Or I'm like, I don't think this is good, but this looks great and I appreciate it. And the kills were so preposterous that it's like, okay, I hope this is like a fix for a horror fan that's probably bored out of their mind right now. But in A Violent Nature, visually, gorgeous. Some great shots in there. Wait, are you talking about the witch? The one with Taylor, whatever, Joy or whatever her name is? You're talking about that one? Maybe because I have like no sympathy for fucking these colonizers, that it, because it was literally that, and I kept thinking about the Crucible. I didn't enjoy it as much. It's great. It's great. Um, but I need to rewatch it because I remember watching it and being slightly disappointed. I did like the ending for sure. I did like the whole scene with the mother. Uh, and the crow, that was fucking gnarly. That was fucked up. But I felt like it needed a little bit more. I felt like, okay, here's what it is. If I recall correctly, you have a time period and you have a setting where you could do so much fucked up shit because so much fucked up shit was already happening. Forget the demonic stuff. These people were for fucking maniacs that I felt like it was missing a little bit more of the human horror element of it all. Because I almost didn't want a spoiler alert to a movie that came out when did it come out? 2015. Okay, we're good. Like over a decade. The fact that it was the devil, or maybe I fucking misremember what the ending was very disappointing. Was very disappointing. I wanted it not to be that. I wanted it to be a fucking a family that just lost it. But I don't know. But I also did like seeing like the witches gathering. That was awesome too. So it's like, a wait, I haven't seen it. Homie, come on. Like I hate spoilers, but come on. Over a decade is, I think it's come on. You know what's so funny, squirrels? Ah. In the beginning of Bring Her Back, something occurs, right? The very beginning, not the intro. The intro's fucking awesome. The intro was like, I'm here for that shit. But the beginning of the actual story, if I'm remembering this correctly, where they're trying to get into the bathroom. There was a loss that occurred where the parallels to that were so uncanny and uncomfortable that I literally had to turn it off, which I don't think I've ever done with a horror movie or just movie in general, where holy shit, a version of this just happened. Can't engage with this. I can't, like, it was too fucking creepy that what I'm seeing on screen is what occurred in reality. And I just had to like turn it off and be like, yeah, nah, I can't do it. Can't do it. And I, you know, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about, but I can't get into the details of it. All right, I don't know how we got into this, but Espresso the Presso says Demi Moore's acting was incredible, not gonna lie, but how many times we praise a woman for performing pain? It's the same issue I have with Black Pain winning Oscars in movies. True, I could see that. I think the difference is usually Black Pain is presented in a like in a movie that's depicting reality, whereas this is a horror movie that's you know, nobody's taking it serious in that aspect of like this is reflecting life, right? Or being like real, trying to present itself as real. And I also didn't know that Demi Moore could actually fucking act like that. I never really engaged with any of her movies. So it was a pleasant surprise, and I was happy that she won. Try Exit 8. Okay. Can I look this up? Is this safe to look up? Hold on. Thank you for the super chat. Access Audio. 2025. Oh, okay, for sure. I'll check this out. Oh, 93. Okay. All right. I did not see Jennifer's Body. It's not that I'm a prude. It's just if we're talking about what Espresso the Press was saying, like the super ultra like hypersexualization. I know I've heard that it's actually like a, you know, commentary on that. But I remember watching like the trailers when I was younger, and I was just like, this looks like a movie for like fucking creeps, you know? Like it wasn't like the word gooner wasn't like a thing, but if anything was that's what the trailers really presented itself as. Do I have a letterbox? No, because I'm already like so self-conscious about being a fucking about streaming and being like, hey, listen to my ideas and my takes. I have something important to say. Like I'm already like so like younger me would have roasted the fuck out of me. You have people that their younger versions were writing fucking trauma fucking porn about their childhood in order to get famous. Which, but why the, by the way, I read, I think all or at least most of Bad Empanadas George's story about his papa. Weak ass fool. But anywho. So I don't have a letterbox because I'm like, I can't like, I have to somewhat, I have to remember that my opinion is not important. but I did think about doing like movie reviews for the Patreon. Just because I'm always feeling guilty that y'all support so much and have helped me out so fucking much, man. That I always feel like I owe y'all a little bit more. And I'm like, okay, maybe because I don't want to put something behind a paywall that I think is relevant at least to what's going on. But if it's like pop culture, I think that's kind of cool because it's not like I'm withholding information. It's just my personal review. Let me know what y'all think about that. Like just a little short, like 10-minute rants about like why I liked or disliked the movie. So yeah. Or bro, there's a theater 5 to 10 minutes from my house that I will not go to because of how consistently people talk. So I drive almost 30 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes to another theater just to avoid that. Favorite movie of the year so far? Man, what have I seen this year? I don't even know what I've seen this year because I haven't really been to the theater too much. So everything I have seen has been a little bit older. Um, for example, I'm not a horror fan, so I finally saw 28 Days Later, and I didn't know that. Um, what's his name? The Irish cat, Colin Murray or Murphy, Colin Murphy, something like that. I didn't know he was in it, and I'm like, oh shit, this is like an actual movie. I was pleasantly surprised. I haven't seen the newest ones yet. Skull Island or some shit like that. I know that's King Kong, by the way. And I think it was this year where I saw that Colin Farrell talking about Irish Colin Farrell movie with the Harley Quinn lady. Hold on, let me see. Mm. Oh, I saw the drama. I didn't really like it. I appreciate it, but I didn't like it. I hated the ending. I fucking hated the ending. Undertone was a pleasant surprise. And see, I went to go watch Kiki's Delivery Service in 4K. That was awesome. Oh no. A Big Bold Beautiful Journey was 2025. That was all right. That was like cute, but needed a lot more. Uh, it was trying to be a blockbuster Hollywood movie while also being an indie movie, and it just didn't work out. Weapons was a huge disappointment. Fantastic Four is not going to go anywhere, so yeah, Marvel's washed. Finally saw Perfect Blue. That was fucking badass. After the Hunt was one that I did want to do a breakdown on because it's so bad in so many ways, but so good in so many other ways. So yeah, I haven't really been to the theater too often. Killian Murphy, yeah. Favorite Ghibli movie? Fuck, man. I grew up on Spirited Away, like literally just like Akira, like movies that I just always known about. I didn't know that people didn't know about them, and just because I grew up with anime, like I grew up with Dragon Ball Z, Cowboy Bebop, like all that stuff was around me. Akira nonstop haunted me, literally gave me nightmares. But Ghibli, if I remove myself from like the childhood nostalgia, I think Panya is surprised me with how, and it shouldn't have, but it surprised me with how just heartwarming that story is. I'm probably saying it wrong though. All right. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we? Because we're just an hour in, and I'm trying to get out of here by 3, which is not gonna happen. That's so four is a goal. Okay. Um, that's hilarious. Like veggies. The Companion. Oh, I saw The Companion. I think she's a great actress. I think The Companion became more of an action movie than a horror movie, and I think that the twist was way too obvious. But then again, I remember like watching AI when I was a kid, so maybe I just kind of like, I don't know. AI is like, from what I remember, and I was really young, but very well done. Emblem Faith. I hope everything's well. I hope everything's well on your end. Yeah, it was just, I mean, a little too close to home, but it's all good. Nice. No, no, I mean, they're all great, right? Mr. Popo's rough, huh? Although, okay, look, not defending Mr. Popo, but my question is, I know this is bad, but this is my question. Chat.
Any other black folk want to engage in radical activist language in this fucking chat?
Because of the attire, was Mr. Popo not supposed to be Indian? I was always confused about that. Like, I know the whole the bullshit is like, well, actually, he's like this like jinn or whatever the fuck, right? And so, but obviously, he is a like a minstrel caricature. But that never like I never understood like why his attire was, at least to my fucking Western eyes, was always like, I always thought he was like Indian or like more of an Oriental thing going on, right? Like yeah, it was definitely black. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was definitely blackface. But then why make him or his aesthetic clothing be Indian? Fuck it, let's look it up. All right, we're already like off the rails today, but it's fine. It's fine. Or am I just like uncultured? This is so fucking bad, by the way. Yeah, for sure. If you've seen the abridged, like once you watch Dragon Ball Z abridged, some of these characters like you can't ever like see the same because that shit was so fucking funny. Uh, so this still of Mr. Popo's eyes, haunting. Maybe a Indian god. I seen a thing about darker skin Indian like blue black. Hmm. He was a genie. Okay. He looks like a palace servant. Nam is an actual Indian character in the OG Dragon Ball, but Bobo is based on Arabian stereotypes. Yeah, so is it like a, I don't know, like I'm trying to understand the racism angle of like creating this character, which maybe isn't good, but still. Yeah, but there are black color yokai in Japanese mythologies, but IDK if that's being expressed here. No, I mean I think it all goes out the window with the lips automatically. That's just everything. The turban, even the belly. If we're being honest, like even like him being like hefty. Bobo is a combination of ensemble dolls, little black face dolls Japanese kids have in the 60s, Toriyama's times, and Orientalism. So he's like, let me just all into one character. Let me just all the racism into one character. And then what sucks is that the actual Mr. Bobo character is cool as fuck. That's what always makes it weird, right? Like with the bells and stuff. Yeah, a lot. I mean, a lot of things don't. Naruto does not happen without Dragon Ball Z. And you can say that about a lot of anime. But it's funny introducing somebody to something like Attack on Titan that is so high pace, and then you can't go back. I tried putting somebody onto Yu Yu Hakusho, and it's just there's no fucking way. It's too slow. And I wouldn't even dare to think about putting them onto Dragon Ball Z. I can't approve the Kai thing or whatever, but still. But yeah. Gio, that's crazy, bro. Gio, I don't know if that's like a super super like low key like dog whistle, anti-Semitic dog whistle, anti-Semitic, because it was Steven Crowder who told him like, "Let me see your eyes. Take off your glasses. I want to see your eyes." And I'm like, "Is there like a BDI Jew like thing that I don't know about?" Linsack, Yu Yu Hakusho is absolutely fucking all that and amazing, and I'm so fortunate that I got to see it when I was so young because it was like everything, right? Again, a little homie, total inspiration for Sasuke. Get the fuck out of here. But I'm blinking out on their names. What I'm saying is that the pacing of old school, like that Shonen Jump, just old animes in general, was so much slower, and they needed to be in order to give time, for the manga. Anywho, because of that, oh, Fooly Cooly. When I first saw Fooly Cooly, I was like, just what was I like in middle school or some shit like that? Fooly Cooly did to me what this like manic pixie girl shit did to a lot of people. That it was never really my, I never really, it never got me. But if any of that version got me, was Fooly Cooly, right? Um, but super nostalgia, yeah. Isn't he? I mean, he's short as hell. And then later I watched Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which I think is one of the best adaptations of a comic book. And then I was like, oh, okay, I get I get what everybody was hyped about. Because when I saw like 500 Days of Summer, that didn't really hit me in terms of like, I don't know, it's hard for me to be like, oh, I understand why you're so like into this individual. And then Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which is a fucking, I think, the best romantic movie out there. Love Jim Carrey, and then I forget her name, but she's a solid actress too. Shoot, what's her name? Because I'm sexist. Hold on. Oh, just internal. Yeah, internal. Kate Winston. Yeah, she's got some movies, right? Yeah, Titanic, The Holiday. Haven't seen that one. Is this any good? The Easttown one. She's done a movie that I know for sure that I. Is Labor Day any good? Because it has Josh Brolin. Oh, maybe I saw her movie 43. Maybe that's what I'm thinking about. Because everything else is here getting more and more obscure. Hmm. Anywho, I mean, I don't know, man. I just think that Scott Pilgrim versus the World is like one of the best cast movies. Like they took these motherfuckers out of the comic books. Um, but yeah, Jesus, help me out here. I hate the SOTSMS premise. I don't know what that is. Outlaw Star. I never got into Outlaw Star. But yeah, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Just perfect. I felt like that show was made for me. I was like, yes, thank you so much. More. Yeah, Bulma is a trash character all around, unfortunately. All right, I'll check out that Mayor of Easttown. Top straight white guys movies: Wayne's World, Scott Pilgrim, and Napoleon Dynamite. Fuck. All right. I don't know. Look, hey, don't look. Pedro, come on. Come on. I mean, that's homie was a god for a second. Dude, Scar was fucking badass. Yeah. There was this anime that Scar always reminded me of. It was like I think it only had one season, it's like really obscure. It's hard to find. I think it's called like Wolf's Rain or something. I don't think it's called Wolf's Rain, but it was basically like werewolves. But yeah, I remember watching like 2 episodes and being like, "What the fuck is this?" The Holiday, Black Rabbit. Ooh, did y'all see DTF St. Louis with Jason Bateman and the big dude from Stranger Things? That was solid. One and done. That was solid. It is Wolf's Rain. Was that any good? Like, should I go back and find that? Yeah, Full Metal Alchemist is all around just perfect. I think Full Metal Alchemist was the last anime that I saw where I was like low key doing the moves. I was like, it's I like mid to good tier. Okay. It's one of those things where I never really saw, but I remember being really impressed with it. So I don't know if it's even worth. Jujutsu Kaisen. You know what? I wanted to make Jujutsu Kaisen and ooh, what was the other one that I was reading? Tokyo Ghoul. I wanted to make those the first mangas that I read from start to finish because I've never done that. I've only read Attack on Titan like in one of the big hiatuses. I couldn't wait, so I just picked it up from there and just finished it. But I want to read a manga from start to finish, and I was trying to do that with Jujutsu Kaisen, Tokyo Ghoul, and the original Dragon Ball. Yes, I do think that video games are nerdier than anime because video games require more devotion. Whereas an anime, you could just throw on in the background. You don't, you can be on your phone. You can do other stuff. Video games require your full attention, which is, I think, the main reason why I just can't game anymore. Just can't do it. I think the last game that I really got into like heavy was Gears of War back when I was a kid. And then I've played here and there Far Cry, but I just can't get back into video games. All right, all right, all right. Yeah, the Tokyo Ghoul. If we're talking about horror and like this, like just man. All right, all right, all right, all right. Okay. All right. Can we can we fucking start? We got 2 hours. Let's do this. I'll tell you what, because we've been yapping over here. I do need a bathroom break. Undeserved, unearned. Can I just say this? I am so excited. I am so happy that we're gonna have Green Goblin in the video game. Green Goblin should be treated the same fucking way that the Joker is treated. And I would argue Norman Osborn and the Green Goblin are better fucking characters than the fucking Joker. So let's not get started on that shit though. So I'm really excited to have that character in there. Let's watch some Saturdays with Renee just to pitch that in there. For homeless people. Start that. All right, y'all, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. We're gonna get serious after this bathroom break. Join the Patreon if you haven't already. $2 gets you access to the Discord, all that good stuff. If you want to dodge YouTube and all of them getting their cut, the Cash App is up and running. How old are you? I need to know how bad I feel about how poorly read I am. I'm a lot younger than you, to quote Bob Dylan. But all right, I'll be right back, y'all. Appreciate it. make sure that they're able to put food on the table. These are people with multiple jobs, where I've seen them clock in from one job to the other and no sleep, taking naps from, one job site to the other. And it's taught me, because a lot of these individuals have been conditioned to be reactionary. Mind you, if they know you personally, they're sweethearts, they love you. But if you ask them broadly, they'll be like, nah, I'm not with that shit, or I'm against that, or that's not, you name it. All those cliches are there. And I say that because I can disagree with anyone and speak to you and try to find some understanding, common ground, or even clarification on our disagreements. And I'm not performative. The way I react to hearing somebody saying some nonsense, that's 100% me reacting to their nonsense. But if it's set up to where, like, all right, now we're going to talk about it, I'm an adult. I can do that if that's what we're agreeing to do. Now, if your whole goal is to create a scene and some drama, I could do that as well. I grew up thinking that shouting was the way people normally talk to each other. So that's more than comfortable for me. But, and you know what? I kind of want your opinion on this, Renee. Did you see the whole, like, the panel discussion with Little Bill?
No.
No? Okay, no, that's fine. It's fine. I don't know how she didn't watch that great intellectual discourse, but just, you can't please everybody. I mean, I don't blame her one bit. I regret taking it serious, and but I did mean that. I did think that that shit was mad disrespectful. All right, let's get to it. Now we're being serious. Shout out to Black Liberation Media, Dr. Ball, Renee. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the platform. I think now I know why I was like in my head about it. Believe it or not, I don't like talking about myself. And I think that's why I was so desperately asking and wanting the lineup so that we could focus on that. But anywho, it was a good time. I don't like talking about myself. I don't think it's anything special. That's the reason why, like, I laugh at Bad Empanada being like, my dad was a meanie. Okay, bro. Okay, buddy. Yeah. Join the club. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Call it machista. Call it whatever you want. Toxic masculinity. You're a fucking man, dog. Motherfucker was hiding behind a light pole. You never squared up? You never squared up with homie? Sad ass fool, bro. I don't know how they make him over there. All right. So, Hasan Piker and his uncle, Cenk Uygur. If you support any of these guys, I'm sorry to tell you, but you've been got. You've been played. You're a mark. Whatever you want to call it. You fell for the fucking grift. Cenk Uygur should go down in history as one of the best whitewashers of genocide ever. The fact that the name the Young Turks is associated with a progressive, liberal, radlib, what have you, populist media platform and not a genocidal group, how do you not call that whitewashing genocide? Mind you, he originally started the Young Turks when he was still proactively denying the Armenian genocide. He was so aware of it that he got himself a young Armenian co-host in Anna Kasparian. For all the white people that are suddenly like, oh, Anna Kasparian is a TERF, Anna Kasparian is no longer on the left, all this nonsense, and they're patting themselves in the back for calling it out. Non-white people, the global majority, were aware of Anna Kasparian for quite some time now. When you have people like Emma Vigeland, her good friend, Sam Cedar, former like business partner with Cenk, defending and excusing Anna Kasparian's reactionary takes early on before it became popular to call her out, you can see where their allegiance is. But there's a reason why you should have never trusted Anna Kasparian. She's a comprador. She's a sellout. She sold her own people out for fame. Ask yourself why one of the largest, in terms of politics, Armenian women, most popular political commentator for Armenian American women, gets no recognition, no love, no praise from the Armenian community. It's because she's a comprador and they know it. And so Cenk Uygur decides to acknowledge the Armenian genocide once it becomes politically, unviable to continue denying it. Hasan Piker, lifelong revolutionary, has defended the Young Turks' name. He has not supported the union that his uncle tried to bust. So I say all this to say these individuals are not who they say they are. They're opportunists. They're wealthy people that wanted to get rich and richer and richer and have more clout and more status in these circles. So, South by Southwest London has released a statement regarding speakers Hasan Piker and Cenk Uygur being barred from entering the UK. Quote, decisions on entry to the UK are a matter for the Home Office and the individuals concerned. South by Southwest London's role is to convene a broad range of diverse voices and perspectives. We remain focused on delivering a program this week, fostering open dialogue and exchange of ideas and featuring more than 800 speakers, artists, and screenings. Don't fall for the gimmick. Don't fall for the fucking gimmick. This is like the subpoena that never got subpoenaed, right? This is all marketing. This is all employed to make you think that these guys are actual radical political voices. They should be taken seriously when they're not. They're a distraction and they're maintaining the Overton window. And more importantly, they're just filling their fucking pockets. That's all they care about. And so, why the fuck would people that claim to support Palestine go to South by Southwest? Right? Now, Mohammed Al-Kurd, I believe, was there. He was also talking to Jennifer Welch, the cookout approved white. Kamala Harris, good friend. He was on her podcast. I've had it. He's Palestinian and he's been doing the work and beautiful fucking writing for years. Eso es su pedo. If he wants to be on there, if he wants to move the way he wants to move, homie. Do your thing. That's on you. Because you're Palestinian. Do what you think is correct. But people who that claim to support Palestinian, people who are making money off of pretending to support Palestinians, that's another fucking story. Because you're doing this for your own benefit. And so when you can't follow something that's basic, and yes, I understand BDS, came out and essentially denounced smearing Operation Al-Aqsa flood. But here's the thing. So there's so many rad-libs. I mean, these individuals here all smeared it as, violent, unnecessary violence and all this shit like that. Bad Empanada, the spokesperson or the junior spokesperson of Palestinians, the senior being Norm Finkelstein, called it what? Brutal, senseless, and counterproductive. All colonial sentiments that he has and reflects his own personal opinion of it. So all these people have demonstrated the fact that they don't actually have principles that they're willing to stand by. All they have is opportunities that they're waiting to jump on. So, actually, I don't care about this. I do. We'll laugh at this in a little bit. Afterwards, though. Here's what Hasan Piker had to say about South by Southwest.
Because South by Southwest is like, I guess, a very popular brand in the UK, or this is a big deal for the UK. This is the second year they're doing it or something. I don't really know.
You see this a lot for these types of narcissists always trying to diminish or downplay their knowledge of like the popularity of things. Oh, I don't know, bro. Like, I guess it was like super popular over there. Why the fuck were you going? Why were you going if it wasn't popular? Right? Like, why are you going to something that was gonna like attract like what, like 5, 10 people? Because we know that you have no history of organizing, so you're not used to being happy that 5 to 10 people showed up. I'm sure y'all been there at some point or another when it's kind of like, oh fuck, we have a great turnout. 15 people showed up. Fucking record breaking. But when you're actually doing that work, you seize that opportunity. Because you know that those people that actually do show up to those types of events care, right? There's a possibility that you could get them to invest more time and more energy into organizing and things like that. But what we're talking about is South by Southwest. South by Southwest. Like, stop acting like, oh, I don't know, it was like super popular or whatever. I was just gonna go there just to like hang out and shit. Like, I don't care. And people buy this shit. People buy the persona. And now it's even more comical because the DNC told him, hey, start wearing a suit. His PR team told him, hey, come on, look at Nick Fuentes. When you want to be like him, get in a suit. Be taken more seriously. You're an adult now. You're in your 40s. Come on. Pathetic. But yes, they always try to downplay their knowledge of things. These people are chronically online. All they care about is popularity. Stop. Stop.
And they had asked me, and I was doing it as a fucking favor to South by Southwest.
He was doing it as a favor to South by Southwest. Why? Why would you do a favor to a... But okay, I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to go into this, but this is how petty I get. Fuck it. Okay, what's his name? Pinsky, but what's his first name? Jay Pinsky.
Did you know that?
Fuck it. 3 minutes. We're watching this. We're watching this. This is who he's doing a favor for, by the way. And this is who Hasan... this is who Hasan Piker was going to do a favor for, allegedly. All right, let's hear it.
The man behind some of the biggest media brands today started with a rare bookstore. Jay Penske, the son of billionaire racing tycoon Roger Penske.
Which, by the way, I don't know this individual. She has 166 subscribers. I'm not trying to, bring any negativity her way or anything like that. But please realize how these Nepo children, Hasan included, are always portrayed as like, oh, they started themselves. They started working hard. And then it's like, oh yeah, his father was a millionaire. His father was a billionaire. But he was working hard. He had an idea and grit and he made it happen. It's like, what are we doing here? Was this like a Nepo to Nepo favor that Hasan was doing?
The man behind some of the biggest media brands today started with a rare bookstore. Jay Penske, the son of billionaire racing tycoon Roger Penske, took an unconventional path to media dominance. This is
an unconventional path, bro. Well, being born in a fucking golden crib, that's super unconventional. Man, maybe my approach to life should have been a little bit more unconventional, like having billionaire fucking parents.
This is the story of how the love for books helped him build a multi-million-dollar empire.
Oh, it was his love for books, not his billionaire father. It was his love for like the printed word that really inspired him to get his media fucking empire. Wow. Okay. Again, it's just, this isn't her. This is just the way that these people are always fucking painted as. Talk to any Hasan Piker fucking fan, hear the same thing. He put in the time, he put in the hours. Okay, buddy.
Before he became a media powerhouse, Jay Penske was a book lover. In 1999, he founded Dragon Books, a rare and antiquarian bookstore in
I hate the fucking name, by the way. Anything with dragon in it, I'm out. How old are you? Like, what are we doing here? Like, that's some like 12-year-old shit. Like, yeah, fucking dragon. Call me dragon from now on. Isn't that isn't that from Step Brothers? Call me dragon or some shit like that.
Los Angeles. The store specialized in collectibles and out-of-print books, attracting collectors and intellectuals alike. Running Dragon Books
Collectors and intellectuals alike. Rich ass fucking people. Okay, cool.
wasn't just about selling books, it taught Penske how to cater to niche audiences, a skill that would later shape his business strategy. Instead of selling rare books, he would soon be curating some of the most influential media brands in entertainment, music, and fashion. In 2003, Jay Penske founded Penske Media Corporation, PMC. He strategically acquired major publications like Variety, Rolling Stone, The Hollywood Reporter, and Women's Wear Daily.
So, okay, I can't finish this. But understand that this is who Hasan Piker was doing a favor for. The son of a billionaire, who's probably a fucking billionaire himself at this point. Jay Penske. He's the person that owns South by Southwest. So what do you mean you were doing them a favor? What the fuck is that? Like, you didn't charge them? Or what do you mean you were doing them a favor? I don't understand. Like, can somebody please in the chat or in the comments later let me know, like, what favor was Hasan Piker doing for Jay Penske? I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming he's a billionaire now. How rich is Jay Penske? Let's find out. Oh, maybe 200 million? Let's see. Where does he live? I don't want to know where he lives, bro. There's no way he only has $250 million. There's no fucking way. Guru focus. At least 1 million. Get the fuck out of here. There's no fucking way. Yeah, no, this is utter fucking bullshit. And this, of course, isn't counting or talking about his family wealth. They keep saying 200 million. There's no fucking way, bro. That's to do what he's been doing? Nah. Absolutely not. But okay. I was doing a favor for a working class guy. I did a favor for a former bookstore owner. Or, sorry. I was doing a favor for, a former bookstore owner. Sounds weird. I was doing a favor for a former. Huh. I don't know why that sounds weird. Yeah, like they never know, but even 250 million is a low estimate for somebody that's buying these. Anyway. I guess you can make the argument, well, it's PMC that owns that shit, not him personally or whatever, but come on.
Because some friends that I trust wanted me to do it. So I was like, sure, I'll attend.
Some friends? Is Jay Penske your friend, bro? Yeah, I have a friend. He's a small business owner. Local bookstore. Yeah. Oh, man. So look at it, so performative, bro. I had these friends and I just had to like help them out because they were like struggling or whatever. So like I was like, yeah, I could totally stop by or whatever.
I'm already going to be in the UK, and it's not like they're paying me, right? I'm not getting paid by South by Southwest.
Why the fuck wouldn't you though? Hold on. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you demand a check from South by Southwest and immediately just donate that? Why? Hold on. I never understood this about rich people. Like, they got the money. South by Southwest has the money. Donate that shit. You know, look outside your West Hollywood mansion and people need fucking help, bro. So why not take that and immediately put it into the community? Because connections, right? No, I won't charge you, bro. I'll be there. Don't worry. And then when I need a favor, you got me, right? When I need a little PR help, you got me, right? Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if some of these individuals all have the same management, social capital. Yep.
to do this, right? It's actually really insane. I'm like doing this as a fucking favor, and they're literally like farming donations off of my image, off of my likeness. And then it's crazy that they just once the Home Office intervened and revoked my visa. When the Home Office intervened and revoked my visa,
And from my understanding, technically, I don't know if it's been updated, but technically, they did not revoke his visa. They just didn't approve him. And I know it's very pedantic or whatever, but understand that, and I said this before, these individuals want to be perceived as radical martyrs without risking anything. He's complaining right now that he can't go to this media social event, which is what South by Southwest is. That's what he's crying about. He's not crying about it's so fucking pathetic, bro. I just don't understand like how out of touch from reality you have to be to publicly, shamelessly cry about this. But okay. Mind you, this motherfucker walked the red carpet for revolution. Right? That's how you phrased it. Like, oh, I was there to like disrupt and you know, bring the revolution forward by my presence.
South by Southwest statement was disgusting. Like, it was literally nothing. To us, they were like, sorry, we have to abide by the government's demands. That was one.
What the what did you expect them to like sneak you into the fucking country? Like, what do you mean? Can you believe it? Can you believe that they won't like traffic us into the UK? South by Southwest, fuck you, man. I was doing you a solid, bro. I'm laughing at this, not because some people are like, oh, you know, this is the Zionists, this is the Zog, this is Zog controlling everything. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna fucking ring the alarm. All right, this isn't the fucking canary in the coal mine moment that this food can't go to South by Southwest. Welcome.
And then their public thing was they just deleted my background page.
Oh my god, bro! If you're not gonna be at the event, what do you want them to do? Put in memoriam? Is that what you want? Like, South by Southwest this year is remembering what could have been a guest star who would have done it for free, Hasan Piker, doing us a favor in memoriam. Like, what? So they deleted your what, like your info page on their website? You're not going to be there. Why would they have it up? What? Were you not just complaining that they were using your image? Like, what are we doing here? Oh shit, man. This motherfucker probably still wants his face in his fucking high school yearbook. He's like, what do you mean? Why would you remove my photo from the high school yearbook? I got most likely to be a Nepo. What are we doing?
Like, they just deleted my speaker page. Like, as though, like, they...
You're not going to be a speaker. Why the fuck would they have... Why? Wait. Wouldn't it be false advertisement if they kept your speaker page if you're not going to be a speaker? What the fuck? How do people take this fucking man-child crybaby seriously? God damn, I hate doing this. I hate covering this because it's so fucking personal to me. Like, I despise people like this on a personal fucking level. You have everything in the world given to you, handed to you, and you want to act like a martyr for this. For a media, not even obligation, right? Like a media favor that you're gonna be doing for a multimillionaire. And this is why I've been telling y'all. They went from no millionaires to no billionaires because they're fucking, the people they're around are all millionaires now. The people they're around are all millionaires now. So now it's all the billionaires. It's the billion. No, the billionaires, not the millionaires. Those are, you know, millionaires are just trying their hardest. He's a bookstore owner. What do you want from him? Just understand this nonsense and the reason why they do it. It's all calculated. Don't think that you're overthinking it. Don't think that it's all accidental. These people have PR managers, right? They have management teams to help them come up with the narrative to build around their brand.
He hit me with the Trotsky cut. I couldn't believe it. It's like, bitch, who the fuck are you? Are you kidding me?
Again, how is this guy not a misogynist? Like, unironically, I'm bitch. You can hear it in his voice too. It's like, bitch, who the fuck are you? Come on, bro. That TRT's not hitting or what?
Like, they hit me with the Trotsky cut. I couldn't believe it. It's like, bitch, who the fuck are you?
Bitch. And of course, because, bro, he's such a fucking radical. He's such a communist. I'm going to make a reference to Trotsky and Stalin here while talking about my media appearance at South by Southwest. Oh, he's just joking, though. Yeah, but he's got to sprinkle in a little bit of that red in there to make it seem like he's actually really about it. Oh, man. It's sad.
They hit me with the Trotsky cut. I couldn't believe it. It's like, bitch, who the fuck are you? Are you kidding me? I mean, seriously, I'm doing this shit as a favor. They get to literally farm tickets off of my likeness.
Oh, fucking brother, bro. South by Southwest was happening because of me. And this is how you know that this is like a entitled fucking white man. How many times has he said, I'm doing this as a favor. I'm doing this as a favor. You know this is the type of guy that if you needed a favor from them, they would never, like, for the rest of your life, whatever they... I promise you, I could put money down on this. That if this guy did you a favor, he'd use it to try and sleep with you. He used to be like, oh, but come on, I helped you out with that thing. You remember? Like, you needed help. Like, you had a flat tire and I helped you out with that. Come on. Let me just, you owe me one. Let me just sleep with you. Come on. Like, that type of fucking creep energy for sure, bro.
To be like, oh, you want to come listen to Hasan? I even set up the talk myself, right? And then
this motherfucker, I was even doing all this free labor for you. South by Southwest, bro. What a goddamn saint. This motherfucker won't organize in fucking LA, but he'll organize for South by Southwest, fucking UK.
And they just turn around. They turn around and just chop it down. They didn't even try to be like, yeah, this is a little bit ridiculous, don't you think? It was very frustrating, especially because like this is not even something that I'm doing for any sort of like significant personal benefit, right?
Oh my god. AJ, thank you so much for the gifted. I appreciate you. Wait, I have to stop. I mean, another 2 minutes of this, I can't. I don't watch this guy. I can't stand him, bro. Like, this is how you know. And look, we can have a long conversation about corporal punishment. We can, but I've said this to people in their fucking faces because, and we're talking about grown ass children. We're talking about like adult children, by the way. Where I'm like, they act this way because you never fucking like scolded them. Oh, I would never, not to my sweetie. But now he's a little piece of shit, right? Like now I gotta hand out the corporal punishment. And they're definitely gonna call the cops. So like when you're talking about a like 20-something-year-old and you gotta go talk to their parents or like fucking 60-something-year-olds and they're like, hey, can you like, I don't know, educate your adult child? Oh, they didn't know any better. All right, bro. And you make me sound like the bad guy. All right. I'm against corporal punishment. It doesn't work. Kept me out of trouble. Kept me in line though, didn't it? Yeah. But yes, no, it's just bad parenting all around. It's not because they didn't get the cinto or the chancla. I know. All right. This is just so fucking sad, man. So fucking sad. And again, everybody's focused on the fact that like, oh, he got banned. He wasn't allowed because he's such a radical and outspoken. And okay, we'll watch that a little bit. We'll watch a little bit more, and then we'll get back to that.
Any serious, any sincere person that looks at the situation that isn't totally lost, totally hysterical, will very quickly recognize, okay, that this is not this is simply being done because of my criticisms of Israel and Cenk's criticisms of Israel. It's not. This is not a sincere demand over anti-Semitism. Okay.
Sincere anti-Semitism. All right. So here's the thing. Cenk Uygur does not support Palestine. Cenk Uygur does not support the decolonization of Palestine. Cenk Uygur believes that the Zionist entity has the right to exist. The Zionist entity has the right to defend itself. All right. Understand that. But Cenk Uygur believes in Zog, just like Anna Kasparian. Believes in it wholeheartedly. So, because he's a fucking grifter opportunist. He was out here accusing Donald Trump not too long ago. He's a businessman. He's a businessman, right? And he raised his nephew to be just that, a businessman, just with a different business strategy, a different business persona. Where is it? Let me see if I can find this real quick, and then we'll start moving along here. Man, it's fucking hilarious. It really is. Actually, let me... Is there one more? Okay, yeah. Only because I love seeing this dude cry, bro. This is how you know he's never been through one hard day in his life. This is how you know these people are fucking soft. They'll break. Slightest pressure, they'll break. If shit really hits the fan, if shit ever really hits the fan, they're gonna be siding with the state every single fucking time. The moment that their comfort and luxury is threatened, I mean, he's already working for the Democratic Party, right? So we know this. South by Southwest was a minor part of my trip to the UK. They totally didn't defend me or Cenk at all. Sorry, I gotta do this right. South by Southwest was only a minor part of my trip to the UK. They totally didn't defend me or Cenk at all. They're actually fucking losers, and I will never work with them for the rest of my life. If you bought a ticket expecting to see me, you should demand a refund. Gosh. What a fucking loser, bro. Holy shit, man. Oh, man. Can you imagine, like, how loudly he would yell at his fucking nanny? Can you imagine the tantrums that he would just, and the horrors that he would inflict? Man. Actual fucking losers. I mean, weren't you doing a favor for them? I don't know, man. It's too fucking good. It's too fucking good. It's just so fucking pathetic. I mean, you have to understand, this is tens of thousands of people's political hero. Like, this is their political compass. That's how bad it is. Sorry. I had to point this out. Shout out to CJ. Check out his video he just dropped, as well as the one on religion. So CJ says the FBA just said I'm I'm sorry, bro. I can't. Fight back. Fight back, TJ. I just literally logged on and saw this, so this is too much, man. Come on. Get up. Chill, bro. Come on, CJ. We're rooting for you. We're rooting for you. God damn. Where are we at? Where are we at? Oh, it's gonna be under replies or yeah. Oh yeah. That shit had me high and laughing. All right, let's look at this.
It's not that shocking that these guys are saying like this because they're the current manifestation of Adolf Hitler. Every single one of them is a little Adolf Hitler in their own way. What's shocking to me is that people still get mad at me when I say these motherfuckers are Nazis. They are. Just because they're Jewish doesn't change that dynamic. And it goes on and it goes on and it goes on. I don't want to. I'm a fascist homophobe. Israel's new finance minister, Bezalel Smotrich, said. They're just Nazis. Of course, it's a Nazi parade. And you, as a Democrat, participated in the Nazi parade. That's it, because Israel's a Nazi country.
Democrats historically not Nazis. All right, Klan members not Nazis. Well, there's Grant Plattner, but that doesn't count. That doesn't count. He's working class. He's a working class guy. That doesn't count.
It's just objectively true. That's what this is. And people cannot fight back against this assertion that is born out of truthful analysis of the facts represented by Israel's actions. So they just go, you're an anti-Semite. Shut the up. And guess what? The American state obliges. And guess what? The British state obliges. And they say, yes, sir, of course I will ban entry into the state of this evil, this great evil. You are not great evil by behaving like Nazis.
And yes, Avas, thank you for pointing that out. Always got to compare genocide to the European one. I mean, because those are the lives that matter, European lives. But I just have to remind people,
it's increasingly evident that hopes for a two-state solution are almost dead. At the same time, polls among Palestinians in the occupied West Bank and Gaza are showing that they're increasingly in favor of a one-state solution with equal rights for Israelis and Palestinians alike and equal citizenship. Is that something you believe could happen, or is that something you support?
No, I don't. I mean, I think if that happens, then that would be the end of the state of Israel. And I support Israel's right to exist.
Sounds like a fucking Nazi to me, brother.
You don't have a lot of time, so, and I'm sure that we'll get to talk a little bit more in the future as well, but I went
already setting it up. I mean, already such a fucking climber. That ladder he's climbing. That's the hardest work this Nepo's ever done. Climbing that social ladder, right? I'm sure we'll talk some other time. I'm sure we'll reconnect AOC and Bernie. I'm sure this won't be the only time we'll cross paths. It's cool. But here's what I got for you, Nazis.
You don't have a lot of time, so, and I'm sure that we'll get to talk a little bit more in the future as well, but I went to Japan recently, and I got both of you guys gifts. I actually have another gift for you, but unfortunately I don't have your gift, the actual gift here. Hold on. This one's for you.
I have another gift for the Nazi. For the Jewish Nazi Bernie Sanders. Have another gift. Not one, but two Nazi gifts. Wow. While handing AOC, ceasefire AOC, a pro-Palestinian pamphlet. But look, he's smart enough not to dare hand one of those to deal with Bernie Sanders. Of course not.
This is a Palestinian movement in Japan.
Thank you.
Solidarity with Palestine, and this is a little train for public transit. I have a Japanese Communist Party pin for you. You don't have a lot of time.
He has a Japanese Communist pin for him. And look, I gotta go back.
It's increasingly evident that
Shocking that these guys are saying like this because they're the current manifestation of Adolf Hitler. Every single one of them is a little Adolf Hitler.
Bernie's a little Adolf Hitler. Right? There you go, Linstack. AOC ceasefire. Yep. And even the more recent one. Let me see if I can find it. It's the saddest fucking shit ever. All I put was Hasan, Bernie, pin. Let me see if it pops up. Let's see if they're gonna have it. Jesus, man. I don't think so. I mean, that's kind of a... Oh, yeah, here it is. This is sad as fuck, bro. Imagine
And I still forgot.
being so desperate to befriend a Nazi, a Zionist. Imagine being this desperate that this is how you humiliate yourself with the limited time that you have with him. But you're not going to push back or actually challenge him in his Jewish supremacist ideology. Look at this.
Before we get started, last time I was supposed to give you a Japanese Communist Party pin that I got in Japan, and I still forgot to bring it today. So I'm instead going to give you, do you know what this is?
Nope.
An evil eye. So I'm going to give that to you. We say, in Turkey, we say nazar, which means like, you know, I'm having a hard time taking this off.
This is like... I mean, fuck it. We have a Jewish person there, and they're related. This is like a Curb Your Enthusiasm, like, moment right there. Like, just the awkwardness of it all. Like, oh, I'm so sorry, Bernie. No, please, it was my fault. I forgot to bring your gift. Your communist gift. You're not a communist, but I brought you a communist gift. Hold on. Oh my, and then just fucking tears his shirt off. Like, just, oh my God, please. Just take the shirt off my back, Bernie. Just pathetic, bro. You think with all that popularity, all that fame, all those millions that Hasan has, that he wouldn't need to grovel to Bernie Sanders? You think. Something's wrong with these fucking people, man. Something is deeply wrong with these people. And we need to view them as our enemies. From Bernie to Hasan Piker, the lifelong Zionist politician who's been nothing but a sheepdog for the Democratic Party, who has done nothing but normalize National Socialism. He's just been a social, like, just, come on. His socialism, it's all national, baby. He was praising Donald Trump for his work on the border and immigration, and suddenly had an issue when white people got. But we can't call Jewish supremacists white supremacists. We're not allowed to. And so, Hasan Piker, and look, I'm a bad atheist. Si me das un ojo de venado, si me regalas un ojo de venado, I'm going to be wearing it. Both out of respect for you, respect for the culture, because it looks badass. I'm not going to lie to you. I'll rock that shit. And I'll blast on fucking Caifanes. So I'll rock it. Whatever the equivalent of this evil eye thing is here, right? He's explaining the cultural significance of it. I'm assuming you didn't get it for yourself, right? If these things, these cultural things work the same way, you're not supposed to buy them yourself. Or there's kind of like a gift thing where like, hey, I'm offering this here for your protection, for your well-being, right? Usually an elder gives you that. So I'm going to guess here and say that somebody gifted this to him for his protection, for his well-being. There is a big possibility that he bought it himself for the aesthetic or for a moment like this, right? In order to be like, oh, you know, I don't have an accent, but here's my culture. Here's a piece of my culture, Bernie. Like just weird shit like that, right? To create these weird connections. So for you to take that off to give to a Zionist, why would you want to protect a Zionist? Why would you want to protect a Zionist? I don't know. I think that's fucking weird. Yeah, anywho. Sad ass fool. And whatever criticisms of BDS, it is like the basic thing that you can do. South by Southwest and your complicity. This is from 2025, literally December, right? Hasan Piker can be expected to follow this the same way that apparently Peter Beinart can be expected to follow this, because he had a discussion with Hasan Piker after he violated BDS by being a guest speaker at Tel Aviv University. But in the 2025 South by Southwest held an edition in London that programmed speakers representing deeply complicit companies like Palantir and targets of the Palestinian-led boycott, divestment, and sanction movements like Barclays. Palantir provides military technology enabling Israel's genocide in Gaza, and Barclays finances weaponized manufacturers arming the genocide. Last year, massive artist and fan boycotts forced Barclays to end its sponsorship of Live Nation's British Music Festival. So just keep that in mind. If Bernie's socialist, then I'm a Super Saiyan. That's fucking awesome, bro. But hey, if I ever, and look, I've enjoyed Hakeem's content, but it is always like super fucking cringe to see these t-shirts, these commie t-shirts. The goofy shit like this, I get behind. That'd be a funny ass t-shirt with maybe with like Bernie's barely remaining hair coming up, you know, a little electricity here and there. But yes, thank you, Emblem Faith, for the super chat. Super chat, super stickers are turned on, y'all. Thank you for the gifted earlier as well. Appreciate y'all. Man. So yeah, just another fucking reason why these people are just pure fucking opportunists that deserve no respect whatsoever. Let's laugh at this a little bit. Because Bernie doesn't put up with the nonsense from his worshippers.
All right, well, you give it to me later.
Okay. All right.
I don't want to use up the whole 5 minutes here.
Before we get started,
He said, you're only getting 5 minutes, boy, so get to it. This is so fucking sad, bro. Look at this. Oh, and the oh, I can't get enough of this. So fucking pathetic, man. Grown ass man, about to be 40, and this is how you act. This is how you act. You don't hate these people enough.
I'm having a hard time taking this off.
All right, well, you give it to me later.
Okay. All right.
I don't want to use up the whole 5 minutes here.
Before we
Pathetic fucking individual, man. And look, the cherry on top. This is where you lack complete self-awareness.
Pittsburgh and Philly are far more progressive than San Fran and LA. Yeah. Yeah, you know what it is? I know what it is. Fucking car-reliant infrastructure. The more cars you have, the more chuddy the fucking city is. That's it. No public transit.
Homie, I grew up thinking that elevators were supposed to smell like piss. That was my childhood. I love public transportation. I hate that I got to drive. I love public transportation, but I actually used it. I remember the fucking horror of missing the bus. Because guess what? Your ass is walking. God forbid it's summer. You think this guy's actually ever been on public transportation for him to be dismissing it? He has a fucking Porsche in Los Angeles. What are we doing here, man? The performative. You are the problem, homie. You are the fucking problem. It's you, dog. It's people like you.
No fucking people living close to one another. No close quarters to one another. No public transit at all. Massive wealth disparity.
No people living close to each other. Bro, you live in like a mansion, in a gated mansion. What the fuck?
It's just fucking rich liberals who just want homo-fascism in the country. That's it. They want gay fascism. They want gay techno-fascism.
Where did the... I'm sorry, I'm confused. where did the gay thing come in? Like, I know this is a 40-second clip, but was there like, did somebody win out here that was a gay, like, liberal reactionary? I'm sorry, I'm trying to understand, where did the gay thing come from? Because look, I'm the first one to say that white queer people are some of the most fucked up people. Like, they are fucking racist, bro. And usually they're pretty good, decent shit talkers, and compared to their white hetero counterparts. And so I'm not here to defend racist as white people in LA. But my question is, where did this come from? Like, what was the topic around or before these 40 seconds that made him think about, fuck these gay people? Like, what are we doing here, bro? Peter Thiel? Hasan, Piker, and Peter Thiel have more in common, right? Like, they visit more of the same fucking establishments than not. But what was the change here? What was the... I'm trying to figure out what brought this about. That how do you go from like, fuck the cars, to bashing gay people? And again, white gay people are some of the most fucking evil, racist people you could run into, right? Because they're trying to compensate for not fitting completely into what's acceptable into whiteness. Oh, that's right. Happy Pride Month.
That's it. No public transit. No fucking people living close to one another. No close quarters to one another. No public transit at all. Massive wealth disparity. It's just fucking rich liberals who just want homo fascism in the country. That's it. They want gay fascism. They want gay techno fascism.
Yeah, maybe this is a clip that's out of content and context. And Assange is a victim of being clipped again. But it does seem like it's coming out of nowhere. James says, no, it's a problem with the rich LGBTQ community. The working class, white LGBTQ community isn't racist. And look, not to defend white people, regardless of, anything else. I will say that poor queer kids that I ran into when I was younger, they were always down for their shit to fight some fucking racist, to like scrap. And usually they had a very diverse friend group. But there was always this consistent, annoying ass, like culture vulture aspect of it all that is undeniable. And the problem is the way they start acting when they're around other white people, queer specifically, or whenever they get a little pocket money going on. It's a little bit of money in their pockets and they start switching up. So, well, I think you're correct. I've seen it myself. It's always a good time, like seeing those diverse friend groups out in the wild and shit. You know that you're gonna have a fucking, whether it's at a bar, you're gonna have a fucking good time, whether it's just some drama that you're seeing out in public. They have the best commentary going on, play by play and all. But give them a little spare change and they switch up real quick. All right. Hasan Piker, a victim, a martyr for the cause. So, who the fuck is Westside Tyler? I tried keeping tabs on these white people, but I'm not great at it, right? I'm not great at it. I was trying to figure out who this was. Now, I'll be honest, I'm pretty sure I watched this because this is another one of Hasan Piker's friends who is a predator. And he's notorious for surrounding himself around predators. He himself is a sex tourist. He's done some weirdo shit. Like, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Y'all remember that clip of Noah Samson basically using a woman to mock Loner Box, a woman that was being, whose sexual consent was being violated by Destiny by revealing her. Sorry, let me find this real quick. By revealing her sex tapes, basically. And Noah Samson thought that it was appropriate to make fun of her publicly. I need y'all to understand that these people are characters. These people are online enough where they slip up. Whether it's Noah Samson or Hasan Piker, you name it. Look at this shit.
Oh shit. Who's this?
If you go to see all.
Yeah, mine are off.
Is that not it?
These are people I've accepted in the past.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know you could do that.
I turned mine off because people used to message me that they were going to kill themselves
that, bro.
unless I responded.
What is this?
Well, those are big booba.
Dude, I am still looking through these DMs. There is a lot going on.
Bro, there are so many women flirting with him in the DMs.
Whoa, what is this?
Yes, let me get you.
That's crazy, man.
Whoa, this one sent a video. What the fuck is this? You want to accept this?
Oh yeah, you have to accept it to see the video.
So here's the thing. Hasan Piker was basically recruiting women or encouraging them to send him explicit videos and photos. And again, nobody was forcing these people to do it. But what happened when men started doing that as well? Hasan threw a fucking hissy fit, a tantrum. And basically said he's not with that. He ain't fucking around like that. Right? So he put his foot down there. Bro, you start receiving explicit shit like that, you're dealing with a fucking degenerate pervert that needs to be fucking, their account needs to be reported. Like, what are you doing? There's something clearly wrong with you. But Hasan encourages that shit. Because he needs it. He needs it. The fame, the riches is not enough. He needs this type of validation as well. I think he's still like mentally in his mind that like young fat kid. And so he needs external validation like this.
Okay, I found this on the web for it, and
What the fuck was that? I need to turn that shit off. So anywho. There's more to this nonsense here. Here we go.
I'll sit next to Hasan with the egg.
I don't know why I'm standing up here.
There's 4 of us, cutie. There's only 4.
Whoa, is that a nude?
So was it? What's the score like? What?
He was like, oh my gosh. What? Well, why would you say that? Why would you be looking over my shoulder? Mind you, he has his arm over you, bro. Like he's doing that shit on purpose. And he's literally coached people on stream how to pretend to be a male feminist by saying, oh, you don't, bro, you can't just show me. Now, if I accidentally see it while you're looking at it, you know, that's different. Yeah, it's weird, man. It is weirdo fucking behavior. But Noah Samson is no different from this. It's all performative bullshit. Let's keep that in mind. So I knew that Hasan Piker definitely knew that this guy, Alex something, LOL overruled or whatever the fuck his name was. Of course he knew that he was a fucking predator. That's the type of people he wants around him. So you could do weird, creepy shit like that. All right. But I don't really, other than this video, I'm pretty fucking like certain I've seen it to be a fucking hater. I tried getting through this, couldn't make it. Couldn't make it just because, again, I don't think they're saying anything unique. The black and white realities of the American Nazi, like, it's just, what am I going to learn from you? There's a difference between guy talk and just talking shit and being like, look. And of course, because they're performative male feminists, it's kind of like, oh, wow, you saw that, bro? As like you're on top of me. Oh, what? Oh, yeah, I just got it like that. Yeah. And this is how you know I'm not lying when I say I don't listen to or watch these people. From a year ago. No fucking idea. Murderer and terrorist. From George. My dad was mean to me. Bad empanada over here. I don't remember his last name. No idea. And then people have been showing that.
I don't like hard.
And I tell y'all, I am who I am all the fucking time because it makes life a lot simpler. It makes a life a whole lot easier. I am who I am at all times. Look at this shit.
I don't like harping on soldiers too tough. I may hit up Westside Tyler about that, but I've heard Westside Tyler explain his transition, but I don't think Westside Tyler was ever a mercenary though. Like, it feels like a significant line.
2005, he's a guard at Abu Ghraib, based. He was.
This is why I say I don't fuck with white people like that. This is why I say I'm not going to have them on my platform. This is why I tell other people, stop fucking with these white folks. From PF Jung to Westside Tyler. So let's find out who Westside Tyler is.
He's a guard at Abu Ghraib, based. He was at the fucking Battle of Abu Ghraib. Is nuts. To the shores of.
Bro, he was a guard at Abu Ghraib, based. He was at the battle there? Oh, that's fucking nuts, bro. That's fucking badass. That's a real fucking man right there. That's a soldier. Oh, yeah, man. So you're a sicko. So you're a sick fucking dog. And you know what needs to happen to sick fucking dogs? It's unfortunate that you made it back, homie. It's unfortunate that you made it back. It's unfortunate that you made it back in one piece, most definitely. But I would have loved to see you in those pathetic little commercials. Help veterans now. Struggle with readapting to society. The Camaro's not fixing it. Won't you help?
Of Tripoli. Tripoli was a fucking pirate headquarters, and we fucking killed all of them. It's still a pirate headquarters today, but we killed enough of them that we don't get fucked with by Tripoli pirates. We might now, but it was a good several hundred years because we fucking just murdered them all. United States Marine Corps. Based.
United States Marine Corps. Based. This is what they call the online left, y'all. This is what you call the online left. Mind you, Hasan Piker only had this young man on because he thought and he was promoting him as a Houthi pirate, right? When asked directly, are you going to have a Houthi on? Hasan said, of course I am. I'm a journalist. In other words, I'm a clout chaser, and this guy's getting popular online, and he could make me look more radical. The young man claims that he is not a so-called Houthi pirate, and he's looking to pursue legal charges against Ethan Klein, Hasan Piker's former business partner, for labeling him as a terrorist, in other words. You want to guess how much his fundraiser has in comparison to Noah Samson? Take a wild guess how that's going and who should be getting support. Now, I hope that he would include Hasan Piker in that lawsuit to say, oh yeah, Hasan Piker marketed me as a Houthi rebel in order to chase some clout off of me. Now, personally, if you ask me, I think that he was just a PR guy, which is necessary for any organization to bring attention to your movement and your cause. But no, I do not think he was like an armed combatant or anything like that.
About the media, and he's just not like.
Okay. What has the response from Yemen been since the bombing?
You mean like what's the response like from the people or from the government, or
what's the response of the people?
I like that I'm fucking 35 and just thinking about when I was in the military. I could probably break this dude's head with my hands.
See, we're far too forgiving of these veterans and left spaces. I've seen it, and I don't fuck with it. One of the reasons why I was hesitant to even work with Decolonized Buffalo, Rick, was because he was a veteran, but he got injured there. And, you know, through the conversations of his being indigenous, being in poverty and all this stuff, and the work that he was doing to combat U.S. imperialism and to bring attention into indigenous movements, and he presented himself to be principled, I was like, all right, let me overlook it. FD did mention in that video that, yeah, there were some, you know, Black Panthers and revolutionary members and leaders that were veterans. That is not Westside Tyler by any extent. That is not Westside Tyler. So when I have given these people benefit of the doubt, seeing the work that they've done for years, seeing how they move, and give them that benefit of the doubt, once is enough for me to learn not to do it again. Shit, I even suggested that maybe Rick's paranoia and the reason why he attacked me, and I mean, he didn't defend me either when Plants Phenon accused me of being anti-Semitic. I've been accused of being anti-Semitic privately and publicly, right? Just simply point out the fact that all these Jews are Zionists, and even the liberal Zionist Jews are still Zionists. I've been asking for one major Jewish institution that's anti-Zionist, and nobody's been able to help me out. Going on, what, like 3 years now? And so Plants Phenon called me anti-Semitic. Rick didn't fucking push back on that, so I was like, all right, cool, it is what it is. That's your homie. I get it. I don't want to come between y'all. And so later on, Rick starts marrying me, and I thought maybe, I'm like, dude, is this like the PTSD? Is this like your consequence for joining the empire? Well deserved, and I hope it ruins all your relationships, homie. I really do. Oh, I mean, check out. I mean, come on. Again, these people lie on me all the time, but where is it? Where's the little Bill conversation?
White folks.
Whites. There it is. I'll take it. I'll take it. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. This was in response to Little Bill saying that if you're working class, you should be able to join the military. It is the same argument. I'm not saying it's the same subject. I'm not equating it. I'm saying it is the same economic argument. It's the same economic argument. It's using weaponized poverty to commit atrocious, horrific, inhumane actions. Whether we're talking chattel slavery, which is the absolute worst, whether we're talking about colonization, whether we're talking about occupation, it is the same economic justification to commit atrocities. Do you even know how much groceries cost these days? You know, Camaros aren't as cheap as they used to be. But anywho, I do want to hear him say it though. The U.S. flag.
Why do you carry that flag? Because this is my heritage. My family fought to save their farm under this flag. Who was working that farm? My family was. Who was working the farm? They were poor. Do you know how much a slave cost back then?
The indignation. Look at his face. He's like, they tried saving up. They couldn't. They worked hard. Saved every penny. And they couldn't manage it. And they just had to keep working hard. So that's why I carry this flag. Jesus, bro. They didn't have financial literacy. It wasn't their fault. And so, whether you're poor or whether it's, non-white people in the military, you asked, those are compradors. Those are compradors. Now, again, when you're referencing the Black Panthers and leadership, radical movements and organizations like that, that did have veterans in there. All right, cool. Where is that now? Where are they now? If you're bringing them up, then can I see the modern day parallel for how that excuse works? Because otherwise, it seems like you're bringing them up to provide cover for people that haven't done the work, like Westside Tyler or Grant Plattner. So if you're going to bring them up, make sure it's a reasonable comparison. Otherwise, it does sound like you're providing cover for them.
You know, like the fucking mountain?
Yeah, no, bro. This is a sick, sick animal right here. This is a sick fucking animal. You need to put that one away for good. You need to put it away in storage because that is repulsive. He is a fucking danger, man. He is a fucking danger. If he's having fantasies, he's publicly fantasizing about crushing the skull of this young man here whose country's being bombed. And you're out here publicly fantasizing about crushing his skull. That is some Grant Plattner shit.
Probably break this dude's head with my hands. You know, like the fucking mountain?
The government,
with all due respect, it's just like, hey, it's combatant to combatant. Like, unironic, without dispensation, with all like due respect, whatever. Regard.
You know why people love doing that? With all due respect. Combatant to combatant. He just said he's not a combatant. But again, Hasan Piker was pitching it like he was speaking to a combatant. This is what Hasan Piker's need for clout and attention and credibility does. I mean, the reason again that Frogan, Denims, Noah Samson are being sued is because Hasan Piker's need for clout and attention by starting a business, Leftovers, with the Zionist Klein family.
Regardless of how you feel about the conflicts, this dude's like an enemy to me. Because if this guy's gonna fucking take shots at American ships, which have the boys on them, then like you can get fucking cracked. Like it's like this dude's literally just an enemy.
So Westside Tyler is on the left, or he claims to be part of the left, but he's still referring to U.S. soldiers for Empire, as the boys. If that isn't the widest fucking shit imaginable, the boys. Thank you so much for the super chat, Emblem Fate. Only Panther they know is Wakanda or Forrest Gump. Jesus. Why did I just imagine Forrest Gump as the Black Panther? Like, you know how that movie whitewashes like just black people's role in US history, specifically with culture? Back to the Future did the same thing. Back to the Future did the same thing with rock and roll, but yeah, no. I just imagine like the mask opening up and it's Tom Hanks as Forrest Gump. God damn, bro. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Do me a favor, y'all. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. We have a good time here, making fun of, mocking these fucking opportunists. And just, man, disappointment after disappointment, pathetic excuse after pathetic excuse. It is what it is. But what do you expect from liberals? Me? Not much. All right.
Boys on them, then like you can get fucking cracked. Like it's like this dude's literally just an enemy.
So if you're challenging and defending more accurately put, if you're defending yourself against US imperialism, Westside Tyler thinks that you should get cracked. Now, to prove I'm not a bully, I'm down, homie, and I know, just like a sound biker, I know that's a big white boy. Oh, I know I'm gonna have to fucking get in tight and work the body. I know. And hopefully it doesn't squeeze my head like the fucking mountain. But I'm down for that one too. Tyler will not be the first Marine. Let me tell you that much. That had to be reminded that the weird like martial art combat training that they do over there doesn't fucking work. It's super fucking performative. At least when you're training martial arts out here, like, you know that it's just for like getting in shape and not even really self-defense. It's just for competing. If you're even gonna do that. But like these Marine fools like really believe that they got like the 5-finger death punch. Like they really believe that shit. Me heads, bro. Me heads.
Who's like an enemy to me? Because if this guy's gonna fucking take shots at American ships which have the boys on them, then like you can get fucking cracked. Like it's like this dude's literally just an enemy.
Context. Linstack. Context. Yes. Originally, well, I don't know what came first, but you're gonna get cracked, right? Like the kapow, kaboom, or whatever of getting punched. And then there is the perverted, mind in the gutter way that you're thinking about it. And remember, please, this is a family show. So, kids look up to you, Linstack, as the sheriff. They're like, oh, I want to be a sheriff when I grow up. Setting a bad example with this lowbrow humor talk.
Get fucking stomped on, bud. Get
stomped on. Where have we... Get stomped on. What do you mean by that? Tyler? What do you mean by get stomped on? I don't know, is like curb stomping in these people's nature?
Keep your head down and get ready to take a fucking L for the left eye.
يعني بعض الشعب اليمني فرح يعني فرح لأن
What about the left eye?
Take a fucking L for the left eye.
يعني بعض الشعب اليمني
Get fucking stomped on, bud.
الشعب والحكومة في اليمن بعد ما بلشت أمريكا
Keep your head down and get ready to take a fucking L for the left eye.
يعني بعض الشعب اليمني فرح يعني
Take an L from or on the left eye? Look, I'm going to tell you my cardio shit right now. I think I outwork him. I'll be honest with you. My cardio shit right now, I think I outwork him. I don't know. Look, I can't spoke either, so I wouldn't know. James, come on, bro. Come on.
يعني فرح لأنها أمريكا قصفت اليمن يعني فرحوا لأنهم بنواجه أمريكا يعني
Hell yeah, Marines with the crayons raised.
So yeah, I don't know who Westside Tyler is. Apparently I've seen his video on Hasan Piker's creepy predator friend. Which one, you may ask, is exactly the point. But this is why you don't befriend the whites. All right. We're at 325. I'm trying to dip out at 4. That's not happening. We have quite a few to get through. Yeesh. Wednesdays are always a little hard because yeah, we'll do this. Wednesdays are always a little difficult because it's like been a couple days since I haven't streamed, so I'm just like yapping it up. My apologies. So let's check out this video here, and then we'll start with the article. Ali Vargas, we've seen him on Millennials Are Killing Capitalism. He does great work. Check him out. Rural workers in Bolivia have seized an oil field in the Santa Cruz region and halted all production as part of the general strike against neoliberalism. The site in the Santa Rosa del Sara municipality is now fully offline. I mean, let's not understate the bravery of this. This is a heavy, heavy blow. And look, to remind ourselves, yeah, it's a numbers game, but it's an organizing game first and foremost. This isn't that many people. Maybe it's just a different angle. Maybe there's more people coming through, but that's not a lot of people. It's all perspective, of course, but it's not a lot of people, and they're still getting it done. From Black Agenda Report, Bolivian Crisis in Conversation with Evo Morales. In a Black Agenda Report exclusive on May 29, 2026, former Bolivian President Evo Morales Ayama spoke with correspondent Clau O'Brien Moscoso. They discussed the now 4-week-long general strike and the many blockades that have brought the small Andean nation into a grinding halt. The main demand of those protesting is the resignation of Spanish-born, US-backed, far-right President Rodrigo Paz. Below is part 1 of the excerpts of an interview with the man who was Bolivia's first indigenous president, speaking from his office in Lacao and Shanara. Oh, that's funny, Leia. Yeah, no, this was on the. Yeah, this was on the lineup. All right. Well, we're never gonna get to fucking HONDURASGATE. We're just, oh man, it's so annoying. I've been wanting to read that on stream for weeks now. All right. Although I will say, if I do cut back on the streaming to focus on the edited videos, it'll force me to actually focus and lock in on the stories that I really need to talk about, need to read. All right. So they're breaking this down with, okay, they're using acronyms for their names. Okay, cool. Not acronyms, fucking initials. So Clau, we already know right now the situation in Bolivia and the crisis is currently unfolding. What can you say about what is happening right now about the strike? Evo, there are several components. Thank you very much, Sister Claudia. First, unfulfilled electoral promises, from small to very large. For example, during the campaign, Rodrigo Paz said, "We are not going to borrow money from international organizations, least of all from the International Monetary Fund." I look, I don't know, like, fuck, what the fuck to do, you know? I don't know how to, like, where to take this channel, to be honest with you. I don't fucking know. I appreciate the support. This whole nonsense thing, it just made me fucking want to fuck some people up for blatantly lying. And I'm not terminally online. So I'm very much like, fuck it, let's meet up. Let's make this shit happen. We don't got to debate about it. We don't have to have cameras around. You want to talk shit and lie? Let's fucking go for it. And I know that's not like ever going to happen. I know these people are dorky ass fucking kids. I'm trying hard, but I'm like, bro, they were lames before and they're fucking lames now, right? And they think they could pop off and mouth off because they think there's not going to be any consequence to it. And in fact, engaging with it just gives them more attention. And none of their cult give a fuck about actually engaging with what you say or your work. They just parrot whatever their leader says, right? And so that's never been me because I love hearing other people's opinions. I really do. Like, I'm so interested in how people think and operate and how they arrive to their conclusions. And even if I disagree with you, I'm interested because I want to know what to avoid and what not to fall for. Because you never know what's going to fucking suck you into some bullshit. And so, as much fun as I like doing this and talking shit to people, at the end of the day, one of the best things about talking shit in person is that you could always resolve it and put it to fucking rest in the best possible way. In the most, simple aspect of the human species, of any species. But these fuckers are so far away and so unwilling to, for good reason, to meet up, that it kind of ruins the fun of it all. It kind of ruins the end result, which is really the reward. At least it always was for me. But that being said, having guests on, it makes me like, one, I got to find out exactly what direction we're going. Less streaming, more edited videos. But when you have great interviewers, like Wise Adone TV, Jared from Millennials or Killing Capitalism, is like, what would I bring to the table to it, right? I don't get it. Like, what would I add to it? I guess asking basic ass questions would be the difference. I guess that might help. I mean, it might be helpful, like more introductory interviews, like basic ass shit, maybe. I don't know. I know y'all have asked for interviews in the past, which would be interesting. I've done them, you know, with Dr. Ball, with Carla, and they're fun and all. I'm not ruling it out. I just don't know, like, where or how to approach that and how scheduling and all that shit. You know, I'm not great at I was gonna say communication, but I'm not great at getting in contact with people. Like, that was never my thing. I was always kind of like minding my own fucking business, and if we would cross paths, we cross paths. I'm gonna talk my shit, but like, I'm not over here emailing people privately, you know, waiting to get exposed and shit. Yeah, right. Yeah, I guess they bring Mexican history to it all, bro. Fucking ridiculous. All right. Shit, man. Yes, armchair combatants. Or squares. How about squares? Let's go with squares. Let's embrace the whiteness. All right. Dude, yeah, but nukes. Those videos take fucking forever, man. All right, let's get to it. Tijuaneros, that's what's up. I appreciate you. Arriba los cholos. No. All right. Start from, all right. Let's get back to it, yo. First, he states that without liquidity, Bolivia seeks to issue bonds and request $3.3 billion from the International Monetary Fund about a month ago. And now, Paz is negotiating credit programs with the International Monetary Fund for $5 billion and the IMF conditions to avoid lowering taxes on energy. And not only that, but it also imposes 3 requirements to access credit from the International Fund. I don't know why they didn't. Okay. Right. But also, it imposes 3 requirements to access credit for the International Monetary Fund. First, eliminate all subsidies. All right, so your local economy's fucked. Eliminate the subsidies for bread. It makes basic ass slogans like bread, like the demand for bread, in other words, substance, food to eat. Like, we really haven't fucking gone anywhere. We really have not moved forward at all. Like against capitalism. Fuck, not to sound so fucking doomer about it, but it's like pessimistic and all that shit, but still in 2026, they're trying to fucking like attack bread, bro. Like, they're still trying to limit the amount or access you have to simple substance like bread. Second, fuel. A request from the International Monetary Fund for devaluation, the exchange rate. And third, and the worst for me, privatize all state-owned companies. On November 8th, Rodrigo Paz is sworn in as president. In December, he issues a Supreme Decree 5503. This is almost the same as Supreme Decree 21060 of 1985 to implement the neoliberal model. But this Supreme Decree is so that the wealthy, the big businessmen, don't pay taxes. And in this Supreme Decree, I only mentioned 3 important things: free hiring for the working class, free importation of agricultural products, and finally, gradually eliminate the simplified tax regime for small merchants, for the small informal vendor. In December, the people rise up, mobilization, Christmas, New Year's, we spend as a state of emergency. The crisis hit a boiling point to the repeal Supreme Decree 5503. The crisis hit a boiling point to repeal Supreme Decree 5503, but afterwards, with other decrees, he continues implementing it. April arrives, Law 1720 is approved, where the small producer becomes a medium agriculture producer. And the small producer, I repeat, by national law, is now a medium producer, therefore has to pay taxes. The small producers rise up with marches, blockades. But who defends the law? The law is defended by the agro-industrialists of Santa Cruz, the landowners, in other words. They defend the law, not the small producer. Finally, they had to repeal the decree. Another setback for them. Teachers marched for a salary increase. This salary increase, well, inflation is quite high. The International Monetary Fund projects that the Bolivian economy will fall by 3.3% in 2026, and inflation will reach 20.7%, and the CAO requests a 20% salary increase just to compensate for the inflation rate, and there was no salary increase. Instead, they gave a one-time bonus of 2,400 Bolivianos to each teacher. And what happens? They say starting in 2027, this bonus will be paid by the departmental governments. But the departmental governments have no money. Jesus fucking Christ, man. It feels like a not a Ponzi scheme, but like they're running a scam. I mean, that's what it is, right? But the worst, after removing the fuel subsidy, Rodrigo said during the campaign. But the worst, after removing the fuel subsidy, Rodrigo said during the campaign, the day after I take office, there will be no fuel shortage. There was a great fuel shortage. A lot. Dude, like, it's just the whole fucking, their narrator voice, right? And there was a great fuel shortage. A lot of corruption. But the first lie, the day after his inauguration, Rodrigo Paz goes to the border. According to them, 900 tanker trucks of gasoline came in. But what was brought with it? But what was it brought with? If the hold on. But what was it brought with? If that existed, it was from Luis Arque, the previous president, and not from Rodrigo Paz. But the worst is, what do the tankers, drivers, or truckers say? Half of the trucks were empty. What a lie. Finally, the fuel for the Rodrigo Paz administration arrives. In February, March, gasoline. Fuel arrives looking for Coca-Cola of poor quality. Or looking like Coca-Cola. Jesus, all right. Access audio, thank you for the super chat. No, I did not. Shlomo fascism. What the fuck is that, bro? All right, where are we? Where are we? What a lie. Finally, the fuel from Rodrigo's Pass administration arrives. In February, March, gasoline fuel arrives looking like Coca-Cola, of poor quality, called garbage gasoline. It starts to ruin all the cars. For me, my little car broke down twice. There is so much corruption. How do I see it? Hunger drives this mobilization. Unemployment, the loss of purchasing power, the lack of dollars, the issue of inflation, the lack of food, the lack of medicines, a convulsion. I see a rebellion, therefore, against the neoliberal model in the neocolonial state. Why do I say neocolonial state? To the small producers, the 5% tax, it's bringing back the indigenous tribute for the colonial times and the colonial state. Although we had Decree 1720 repealed, which turned small properties into medium properties, it didn't stop. So lie after lie. The people rise up, and now they can't stop. The mobilizations continue. Thank you very much for that economic and historical context. How do you see the role of the United States and what is happening now in Bolivia? Evo. Let's see. Aside from being an economic crisis, there is a political crisis. There is a social crisis. But a component has been added for me, which is a sociological issue. That's why I say this is no longer just a class struggle, but a struggle for identity. And now the people are realizing that Rodrigo Paz, born in Spain, and in his messages, in his conference, he says, I was exiled in Colombia, Mexico, China, Argentina. I was in 10 countries, but he never said his father was exiled and he was born in Spain. He never said that. His identity background from birth is Spain. He has dual nationality. And the Aymara brothers say, no, just like Christopher Columbus, a Spaniard is going to dominate us. I see it as a sociological issue, not just a political issue, not just an economic issue. That's how I see it. No. Pero, si nosotros hablamos de los pinches güeros, de los europeos, hay problemas. In other words, Evo Morales can actually say, no. These are Spaniards trying to do what fucking Spaniards have been doing here. And we're not going to be ruled by them again. So when we call out white people, there's a whole lot of pearl clutching, a lot of whole like, idpul. But once you see it, you can't fucking unsee it. We know who the scourge of the earth is. We know who the common denominator in all our fucking problems is. And these motherfuckers want to wash their hands off of it and use the little scapegoats. Fuck them too. But fuck you even more for letting them get away with what they've been doing. The way everyone wants to wash their hands off whiteness and just reduce it as no longer being the primary fucking issue here. Access Audio, I'll check that out. Thank you so much. But here we can explain to them the interventions, as always, of the United States. Last week, the United States Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, said on his Twitter, make no mistake, the United States firmly supports the legitimate constitutional government of Bolivia. We will not allow criminals and drug traffickers to overthrow democratically elected leaders in our hemisphere. He calls us drug traffickers and criminals. But also, a military leader says on his Twitter, the leader of the largest private army in the world, Eric Prince, can't get rid of that motherfucker. Eric Prince, aka Grand Planner's former boss, asked the Donald Trump government to prevent the pedophile Evo Morales from carrying out a coup d'etat. Bolivia had elections. Rodrigo Paz won. Don't let the drug dealers overthrow it. It is an open intervention. As far as I know, the U.S. Embassy, this is a good one. The charge of affairs instructed Rodrigo has Rodrigo has full support. We cannot lose Bolivia. We cannot lose lithium. Therefore, a state of siege until 2-3 days ago. But the supposed aid from Argentina President Milei arrives, tear gas, canisters, rubber bullets. Another from the right arrives from Chile, Peru. Today, the plane from Paraguay arrived. No. I think it's a plane from the U.S. military base in Paraguay. No, I'm saying, what am I doing here? Chat, why am I struggling here? What am I missing? Hold on. Sometimes I say shit and I know I'm saying it wrong, but I can't figure out why, but it doesn't sit well with me. Anyways. The day before yesterday, a plane from the United States arrived with more than 100,000 cartridges of tear gas. Yesterday from Santario, they took boxes of rubber bullets from Galapagos. We see full support for repression of the popular movement and the armed forces by order of their commander, are organized in 2 anti-riot command teams, although the armed forces do not want to participate in the repression. They already sent the armed forces to the streets and they were defeated by the social movements. And the military doesn't want to get involved, a good part of the army especially. So, however, he comes, the commander of the United States Southern Command, Southcom, giving orders. So, however, here comes the commander of the United States Southern Command, Southcom, giving orders. A few weeks ago, 3 members of Southcom were visiting barracks. I said, what do they want? Why are they visiting barracks? Is it to give equipment to repress the people? And what does Southcom teach the armed forces? That the internal enemies of Bolivia's armed forces are the indigenous people? They are the workers. They are the popular element. So, it is a total foreign intervention, including Drug Enforcement Agency, the DEA. But Rodrigo Paz says the DEA comes to fight drug trafficking. And by the way, wherever the DEA is, drug trafficking goes up. You, as a journalist and communicator, are informed that Rodrigo broke the record for involvement in drug trafficking. Why the record? First time we hear the state plane, TAP, Bolivia's DEA of the Air Force, arrives from Miami to Urubiru with the liquid marijuana. Some police officers said it wasn't the first flight. It brought marijuana from the United States to Bolivia. I asked the specialist, why do they bring it? Oh, there's a big marijuana market in the neighboring countries. That is, Bolivia distributes marijuana to neighboring countries. I say, where is the DEA then? That is, it's surprising. I say, no, we have arrested a ringleader, a drug trafficker boss, Sebastián Enrique Marcet, and it appeared in the newspaper. The government had a meeting with Marcet 10 days before his arrest. I don't know who he met. This arrest was prepared, negotiated, and planned. These are the lackeys. These are the fall guys. These are the characters that we're supposed to focus on and think are the true big bad villains. The worst is sister journalist Claudia. In his testimony, not a single dollar in his suitcases, not a dollar. There, in another of his departments, they find nothing. It's funny. Who is going to believe that? Where is the DEA that fights drug trafficking? People no longer believe Paz. He lost authority. Here comes the fundamental issue. The U.S. Embassy says we cannot lose lithium. Paz already signed memorandums with the United States and Canada to generate rare earth lithium. And the people are defending lithium, natural resources, and rare earths. They're defending the homeland. They're defending Bolivia. Really, I am very surprised by this rebellion of my sisters leading the countryside. The red ponchos, Aymaras from the Department of La Paz, were at the forefront. When I was a youngster, after leaving the barracks in 1979, a coup d'etat, the unique Union Federation of Workers, Peasants of La Paz, the press said, declared a road blockade against a coup d'etat. In 2 weeks, they brought down the dictator. With his chancellor, Guillermo Bedral, a trusted figure of Victor Paz. This story is repeating itself. In colonial times, Tupac Katari and Bartolina Sisa continued to approach peace. Bartolina. In colonial times, Tupac Katari and Bartolina Sisa continued to approach peace, not only for cultural vindication, before the defense of territory of our identity. And Tupac Katari also asked the whites to organize themselves to defend the homeland together. It is as if Tupac Katari has returned to bring peace now, to defend his territory, the territory of Bolivia, as millennial natives of this noble land. So, all that struggle previously against the European invasion, now against U.S. intervention. I appreciate y'all so much for putting up with me. Forever remaining humble. There we go. Words. Jesus, I'm telling you, I'm humble, bro. That's my thing. Like it's I don't know why I decided to get a mic. Definitely I don't know why I got a camera. But I be mumbling shit. It's my fault. I'm lazy like that. I'm trying to get better. I think I gotta go eat. I gotta tap out here. At some point, we're gonna fucking make it to that HONDURASGATE article. I mean, it's been sitting here for fucking ever. Forever. Although, do we have time for this? Yeah, we kind of have to. Because it's kind of ongoing. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. All right. Let's get through this. Ecuador accused of meddling in Colombian election with tariff vow. I mean, this guy looks like a fucking douchebag. Can we be honest? This guy looks like like HR just has him on speed dial because of like how he's acting in the office. Like he just has that fucking look. No, this is important. This is important to me. I'll eat in a little bit. Colombia's foreign ministry has accused Ecuador's president of deliberate interference in its forthcoming election after he promised a right-wing candidate he will lift tariffs. Daniel Noboa framed his conversation with Colombian presidential hopeful Abelardo. No, it's like Abel. Abelardo. There we go. Abelardo de la Esprilla. No, I'm struggling with that L before the AR. Okay, Abelardo. Okay, that's what it is. I was using the L too early. Abelardo de la Esprilla on Friday as one with an administration in waiting, saying the two had reached an agreement on trade and security. Colombia heads to the polls on Sunday to elect a new president in an atmosphere of intense political polarization. The outcome of the election would define which countries the Latin American nation aligns itself with and how the government intends to tackle drug gangs amid spiraling violence. Left-wing President Gustavo Petro, who is unable to seek re-election, has repeatedly sparred with his U.S. counterpart Donald Trump over a number of issues including drug trafficking and American intervention in the region. Noboa, a staunch ally of the U.S. president, has taken a hard line on drug-related violence and has joined U.S.-led alliance aimed at fighting cartels. He wrote that he had decided to drop Ecuador's tariffs on Colombian products as of the 1st of June following his conversation with De La Esprilla, and said the two had agreed on the handover of Ecuadorian criminals who are in Colombian territory. Jesus fucking Christ, bro. The human trafficking involved here is nonstop. Ecuador has gradually imposed tariffs on imports from Colombia since January, citing what it described as Bogota's failure to secure their shared border. Its geographical location, sandwiched between Colombia and Peru, the world's largest producers of cocaine, has turned Ecuador into a key transit country for the illicit drug. Petro's government has denied the accusation and responded with economic measures of its own. Colombia's foreign ministry criticized the misleading presentation of the decision to repeal the tariffs as a goodwill measure by the Ecuadorian leader in a statement on Saturday. This meddling by a foreign leader in the democratic process of another state constitutes a flagrant violation of the principle of non-intervention in international affairs, a threat to national sovereignty, and an attack on the democratic system, it added. Colombia's political culture had for decades often favored centrist technocrats for the presidency. But its politics has become increasingly polarized, with Petro becoming Colombia's first left-wing president in recent history. None of the candidates on Sunday's poll appear likely to win an outright majority, with a runoff vote scheduled for the 21st of June. Polling suggests Petro's choice of successor, Iván Cepeda, has the greatest support, with De la Espriella his next closest rival. Cepeda has promised to continue with Petro's administration's policy of total peace, which sought negotiated settlements with armed insurgent groups that engage in drug trafficking, though talks have stalled and agreements broken down with renewed violence. De la Espriella and center-right candidate Paloma Valencia have vowed to launch a military crackdown if elected. Fucking shit, bro. It just keeps fucking going in circles, man. So this is Espriella. I mean, he looks like, again, they all have that look. They all have, maybe I'm hating because my beard doesn't connect. But, you know, when you see this, when you see it that fucking clean and sharp, like even wherever you are, if you're in a club or something like that, like just watch your fucking drink. This is something Noboa has tried in Ecuador, deploying 75,000 police officers to the nation's four most violent wrecked provinces. In March, though, his prior attempts have seen the country's murder rate skyrocket. Colombia's presidential hopefuls have campaigned amid persistent political violence, with one candidate fatally shot last summer. Last week, De la Espriella appeared at a rally in Medellin behind bulletproof glass. He and Valencia have expressed a desire to restore Colombia's close security alliance with the US, which has come under strain under Petro and Trump. Cepeda has insisted, just as Petro did, that Colombia should not be a vassal state to the US, though observers have noted that the two nations' historic anti-drug cooperations has continued during even the most heated disputes. The capture of US forces of Venezuela's former president Nicolás Maduro in January has left Petro one of the region's few remaining left-wing leaders not ideologically aligned with the Trump administration. Both Trump and Petro have indicated that they thought a U.S. military intervention in Colombia was possible after the U.S. president revived the Monroe Doctrine that the U.S. should be the sole arbiter when it comes to the Western Hemisphere. However, Trump has since turned his attention to Cuba and has openly discussed toppling the communist regime there, which he has described as ready to fall. And again, it's BBC, so of course they're describing it as a communist regime. I fucking knew it. Fucking knew there was gonna be a commercial. I just want to see that one clip, then we'll head out. Jesus, 10 seconds, y'all. But I'm seeing you in the chat. I don't know, Leia. I mean, I wish, honestly, for the longest, I would just shave everything off because it's a fucking hassle. And then it went the other way where I got lazy and just never shaved, and it just looked like a wreck. Now I'm like somewhere in the middle where like every now and then I'll try to like clean it up.
I do believe it's a real threat, and the prospect of removing it depends on the ongoing conversations. Colombia has already experienced military violence from the United States, most recently in Panama at the beginning of the 20th century. Today, Panama is not part of Colombia. Colombia has lost territory many times, but this is just one example.
My bad, y'all. My bad. It had to happen at least once. I was gonna say, I took a course on Central American Studies, and I had like no knowledge of Panama, none really. And man, it really does perfectly capture how the U.S. runs the Western Hemisphere, and it really should be prioritized a little bit more for sure, because like just the building the canal alone, it's like the lives lost and the way that capitalists and these imperialists had no fucking care for human beings that they were pretending to represent. Like, right, like, oh no, Panamanians, like, or prior to that, like, they should have sovereignty. And it's funny how often they use the claim of sovereignty and self-determination when it benefits them, right? But that, yeah, that history of the Panama Canal is fucking tragic. Yeah, thank you so much for the gifts. Who was that? Obsidian Flint. Appreciate it.
And can you be sure that the US won't do to you, to Colombia, what it has done in Venezuela with Nicolás Maduro?
Había una debilidad grande en Nicolás Maduro.
There was a major weakness in Nicolás Maduro, one that stemmed from Venezuelan politics itself, a stage of degradation of the process initiated by Chavez. This led to a significant withdrawal of support from Venezuelan society. I just spoke with Delcy, whom I've known for a long time. Negotiations between Venezuelan forces must be between Venezuelan forces.
I will say Petro's personal history and his relationship with armed struggle, as well as Delcy and her presence in both the Chavez administration and just in regards to Chavismo in general. And I don't want to get this fucking weird Illuminati conspiracy shit, but like it does feel kind of interesting how much like the so-called left faces in the US who are pushed as leftists, both by them, you know, partially by what they're saying, but also by their audience and then the reactionaries opposing them. A lot of these individuals themselves, once you look at what they've done and what they're up to and what they're willing to do, it starts making sense how they get into power. But I'm not going to speak too much on that because I do need to do a lot more research. But just from what I've seen so far, it's kind of like, oh, okay. Like you were the one that managed to get to where you are and the power that you've obtained because you're pretty fucking slick with it. Where are your comrades at? Where are your comrades at? Where were the real motherfuckers at? They didn't become president, right? I know with Delcy is a little bit different, but all the actions that she's currently taking is, I think discouraging would be an understatement. But there's a lot of people that immediately started making claims and accusations without any evidence that were like, okay, you're just trying to profit off of this angle that you're approaching. And then hoping that it pays off. You see that a lot on here, where people just spew their nonsense and hope that it pays off. And it's like, what are you really rooting for then? What world are you fantasizing about or want to see? Because it seems like you want a world where you're right at the expense of the well-being of others, right? You're not doing that out of concern. You're doing it out of like self-interest to be able to clip shit. It's interesting. I'm always hoping for the best, especially in regards to like, you know, peoples who have been suffering so much. And of course, that bubble gets burst time and time again. But on day one, to be making baseless accusations in hopes of essentially taking a gamble, that's just a little gross to me. But, you know, the colonizers think different. Especially when they pretend to be allies.
¿Sabe cuándo recibirá usted en Colombia a Delcy Rodríguez?
La invité.
I invited her. I don't know if it will happen, but I think it would be important. I believe we must focus our efforts primarily on national dialogue in Venezuela toward a shared government that builds trust across all sectors of Venezuelan society and then hold free elections.
President Trump has also accused you personally of trafficking cocaine. What is your response to that?
Personally, as in this fool was like driving the cars, driving the plane. Personally, this fool was cultivating that shit himself. Fucking baking soda and all.
People voted for me because it has always been proven here that I'm not involved in that. For 20 years, and this is important, I have been fighting against the drug cartels at the cost of my family having to go into exile.
I just wanted to check that out there since it was linked. Yeah, we got a lot to cover. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll check out the Discord what y'all have to say, what you have to think about, or what you do think about not streaming or streaming once a day and then just locking in on the edited videos. Again, I know for a fact it'll help the channel grow. But I also feel like there's so much nonsense, and I love the nonsense. But we're like halfway through the year. Some changes got to happen for sure. Some growing pains. But I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in and putting up with me as always. Do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Join the Patreon. $2 gets you access to the Discord. We're always talking shit there, having a good time. Giving recommendations of articles, books, and music. So check it out. It's really petty in there, so be ready for that. If you want to avoid all the nonsense, feel free to hit up the Cash App. All any help supports. Share this, hit the notification bell if you want to go when I go live. If you want to know when I go live, there we go. Remember what Glenn Ford said, organize with eyes wide open. As always, with John Trudell, the Beast. In a wisp of smoke down on the corner, there was this cat named Fortunately, talking at me from voices in his head, yelling about what storyteller said. You gotta be careful here, child. There's a beast in the promised land. There's madness you don't understand. The beast is crazed and running wild. Little boy, man, little girl, woman, no big deal. Nothing personal. Your mind's another meal. Savoring the rush of you like heady wine. Feeding is what the beast is meant to do. Stranger are those walls built to hide. Stranger to look and learn not to see. He's in the mask you put on your face. Thoughts, his favorite breeding place. In the race of midnight, it's after 11. The nature of the beast is all he knows. Behind doors of hell are gates of heaven. Doors are open, but the gates are closed. Yes, duel.